newbies, y'all are not lost, but the lifers can tell you this is the Life Be Lifing podcast. Yes, 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 yes. Welcome, welcome, one and all. Your first time or your 1400th time, you are welcome all the same. As I used to say way back in when we started, sit down, get comfortable. We're going to be here a while. We left the light on for you. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Welcome,
We are
welcome,
hosted.
welcome.
We are hosted by the amazing, the gorgeous, the witty, the electric and eclectic Mimi. The squishy gangster. Never forget.
Yeah,
Never
don't
forget.
forget that. That's the important part.
Never forget the squishy gangster Mimi, the goddess.
What up, guys? What it do?
Yeah, yeah. And she's flanked by none other than your favorite fat freckle man, your favorite coach's favorite coach, the big dog himself. Boom. So, as always, like I said, give us not even 2 minutes because I'm getting sharper and sharper with this John when it comes to the checks and
Getting better
balances
by
to
the
make
week,
sure,
baby.
you know what I'm saying? Getting better by the week when it comes to the checks and balances to make sure that everything's live the way it's supposed to be live.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and check Facebook right quick. And at the same time, well, let me check YouTube first. How is everybody
That's
week? I hope
important.
everybody been good.
That's
I hope
important.
everybody been good. I hope everybody been staying safe. Um, I hope y'all not letting, these policy changes and all that kind of stuff get you down. Speaking of
Yeah.
which, I made a comment on my Facebook page as to the humor I found in so many Caucasian people believing that DEI applies only to us black folk. And there were a few people who were uh who wanted some further clarification on, what that meant and also uh, in which ways does it impact, the Caucasian folk. Um, but I did that video. It's about somewhere between 5 and 6 minutes long. Check it out on YouTube, Life Be Life. And it is titled DEI Ain't What They Thought It Was. So if you did not see that I posted it on Facebook already and you want further clarification on that particular topic, please go to Life Be Lifing on YouTube. And the video is titled DEI Ain't What They Thought It Was. All right.
Make
Uh,
sure
I,
I do my due diligence and go share that right now.
you know what I'm saying? I try to get to it. I try to, explain exactly what DEI is. Facebook, why are you always locking our live into private? I have no idea why. No idea why. And this is
They
why I have to
hate
check every
us.
week. This is
They
why I have to
can't
check
stand
every
us.
week.
I mean,
You know
some
what
folks.
I'm saying? Because here we are on time, not delayed, and now people feel like they can't find a live. Yeah, because they're making it like dying. But it is officially public now. So if you are on Facebook looking at the live, it is there to be found on Night Charles, Nicharles. Um, if you ain't already following that Facebook page, and the YouTube stream is live as well.
We live,
Again,
baby.
it is indeed Life Be Lifing on YouTube and Night Charles. Let me put it on the screen for y'all. There you go. On Facebook. Just that simple. All right. All right. Let us get
Yeah.
into the topics. Let's see. Let's see if we got anything going on in the chat first, because I always want to greet our people. I always like to acknowledge the folks. Do we have anybody here? Because that's another reason why I wait to start the conversation too. Because then people are like, what
Sure.
y'all talking about? We don't want to get
Yeah.
10 minutes in, and then folks trying to figure out what's going on.
Right.
Um,
We already in the thick of it.
you mean? Pause. Facebook, YouTube. Let my
I told you
people
about doing that.
let my people. I'm immature. Let my people go in terms of the the algorithm, man. Y'all holding us. Y'all holding us because it's I put out the video. Hey Ty, we got one person in the chat. What's up, Ty? Like I put out the
Uh-oh.
video earlier, letting people know that we would be recording at 9 on Thursdays, just flat out, so people, know come going forward. And I'm gonna just keep reposting that same joint
Yeah,
every week.
yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? The same one. But man, it's multiple people who said both when it comes to the live on Facebook and when it comes to the live on YouTube that they don't get they follow, they like whatever, and they're not getting the notifications like they do for other people. Stop
Yeah.
hoeing us. Give us free.
Hey man, they hate us
All
because they
right.
ain't us. That's what
People,
I say.
people's trying to rock with us and y'all standing in the way, man. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Because they know we
Come
be talking
on,
that
man.
real gangster shit. They don't want us to give the word to the people.
Yeah, you know what I mean? We not gonna let y'all stand in the way, man. We got to do what we got to do. You
Yes.
understand me?
We here on a mission, ordained.
We are here on a mission. I couldn't have said it better, Cole. We are here on a mission. Um, excuse me. Uh, so we'll have some filler conversation in the meantime while the chat room fills up. As
Mm.
you know, it's not a good time for me as a football fan. The
I
Philadelphia
mean,
Smeagol's are going back to the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. Hopefully, you know,
mm.
the Chiefs and the refs manage to steal another one from them. Um,
I mean,
because
because you
Lord
know,
knows the fans are going to be insufferable. People who haven't spoken to me all year are going to start hitting my line. Um,
hey, that is insufferable. That's a hell of a word
in-
to use.
insufferable. Actually, uh,
During this
Keith,
tumultuous time.
Keith, aka Mister Know It All, even acknowledged that they are insufferable as
Oh
fans.
Lord.
And he
Listen, I
said,
just
if you think
say,
we're insufferable now, wait till we win. And I'm like, he's absolutely right. Shout out to Mr. Know It All.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like Taya, another part of the High Link Philly crew, you know what I'm saying, that I'm a part of. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
Um, and look forward to some content, or at least them tapping in with them for the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Since
Oh Lord.
we are
When is
based
the
in
Super
Philly,
Bowl? When is the
that
Super Bowl?
it's like a couple of weeks, I believe. I ain't gonna lie to you. I have so little interest in it, I couldn't tell you the date.
Listen, and my husband is a Commanders fan, so or Skimanders as I like to call them. Listen, Super
I'm
Bowl,
one of
because
them people. Once my team is out, I lose interest.
it's next Sunday, the 9th.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right. Sounds
And
about
just
right.
get there, get that shit over before the long weekend. Now I won't be bothered. Get the fucking out, get that shit fucking out of here. I'm done.
Speaking of the long weekend, which will be Valentine's weekend, uh,
Oh,
I'm going to take my lady to go see the new Captain America movie. Um,
oh,
I'm
cute.
take her to go see that. Uh,
Yeah.
looking forward to it. And Anthony Mackie right now. I guess we could start a mild conversation on that. I don't know if you know he made comments that got him in hot water with some folks. More
No,
than
do
likely some
tell.
white folks. Yeah. So Anthony
Yeah.
Mackie, trying to play up the movie and talk about things. He was saying that this movie, this Captain America movie, is, Captain America, the character himself. He said he doesn't feel like uh his character is more about,
Lord.
morals and ethics and, justice and stuff like that, more than he is about America. He's not really about America. It's about, these principles and stuff like that. So of course, the full-blooded Americans, the patriots themselves, the pasty-faced patriots, you know,
Hey, Slim, I'm about to.
they got upset. Their skin boiled. Ooh. See, this is why I'm not gonna watch this movie. The movie that you wasn't gonna watch anyway, because Captain America is black.
I mean, whole time.
My Lambo is black and my cap is too, ho. Yeah, me.
Shiesty.
Yeah, listen. I got
Sick of
smoke.
these
I got
people.
smoke for racist nerds for years, and,
Listen, sick of
and the
these people.
casuals too, because it don't even just be the nerds. It's, of course, it's going to be casuals, people who don't know the character, who don't really care. But once they found out that the Anthony Mackie version was making it to the movies, it's like, all right, that was cool for that Disney Plus show. We let y'all slide, but now y'all got the nerve to make a whole movie.
Not
Nah,
Disney
nah, nah, nah,
Plus. You're
nah,
taking
nah,
it
nah.
too far. You're
You've
taking it
gone
too
too
far.
far, sir. You
Settle
go too
down.
far. So yeah, him saying that pissed a lot of people off.
I
Um,
mean, listen, who's surprised?
right. Who's surprised? You want to know the funny part? Chris Evans said something very similar during his run. And that's what, I can't help but
It
be,
be the hypocrisy.
man, racism, as bad as it is, it always ends up being funny when you look at certain stuff because you just like, yo, this dumb. Yo, this dumb.
Absolutely. But you can't tell them nothing. You can't tell them shit. They think they smarter than everybody else.
They don't. They don't.
And
They
they
think
be
they know
thinking
it all.
this shit don't apply to them. Like I am pretty sure a lot of these people who voted for King Cheeto eating fucking dirt right now because you didn't think you was gonna get that resignation email? You didn't think your ass was gonna have to return to work with the rest of us Negroes who are supposedly so lazy because we work from home? Did you think that your spouse, your military spouse, was exempt from the hiring
Oh,
freeze?
oh,
Oh, you fucking thought
you
wrong.
thought.
Thought you was
You
fucking
thought.
special. Yeah, the nigga, look.
You
Show me who you are! And he's showing your motherfucking ass. Good luck.
man is
Buckle
young.
up, bitch, because you on this bumpy ass ride with the rest of us DEI needing ass motherfuckers, huh?
What you say? Buckle up. Buckle up.
Listen, because the
Hey,
shit funny to me. Like, when I tell
Freeway
you
told
people
y'all
are
it's going to cold winter.
so worried. They are so worried. And I'm just like,
Man,
okay,
listen.
and like, what you want me to do about it? I got bigger things to worry about. Like, come on now. So
At
yeah,
the end of
it's
the day,
crazy. The
at
day
the end
going
of the
in.
day, the day going in, man. Listen.
So, mm-mm.
So, like I said, the funny part is that Chris Evans said something very similar during his run of
Yeah,
Captain America. And of course, the memory not gonna keep that. You know what I'm saying?
of course.
They
Convenient
memory not gonna
amnesia.
go back that far. Right,
That's
right.
that convenient amnesia I like to talk about a lot of times.
Convenient amnesia. Word, word, word. What's even funnier, because here it is, being the nerd that I am. Um,
The nerd.
being the nerd that I am. I remember specifically, and I should have thought about this ahead of time because I didn't know I was going to speaking on this. But there's an actual panel, multiple panels, because during I want to say late 80s, mid to late 80s, not quite the 90s yet, there was a point where Captain America wasn't really rocking with America. I
That's what
remember,
I thought. That's what I thought. I heard.
I remember a particular page where they were trying to get him to do things and he would not. He said, I'm not loyal to anything but the principles. I'm loyal to the people. I'm not loyal to this flag. And he was standing right next to the American flag. He said, Mm-mm, I'm not loyal to anything but the mission. The man literally said, without the principles, America is trash. Trash. T- Listen to me, y'all. I ain't talking out my behind. Give me some time and some due diligence. I'm gonna post the scans. I'm gonna post the scans to back it up because proof is everything, and we have the ability to do that these days. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
proof
saying?
in the pudding.
Um, there was even a point where he resigned from the Captain America position, okay, because he
Mm.
wasn't rocking with what the president was trying to do and what the government was trying to do. He refused. In the comic books and in the movie Civil War, the second Captain America movie,
Oh.
he resisted the government, did he not? Yeah, he did. And it by the time that Avengers, what was it? Not even Endgame, Infinity War came out, he was a fugitive from the country.
Interesting.
So it's funny, it's funny, of course, how like you said, that selective memory works. Funny as hell. Funny as
Hmm.
hell.
Yeah,
Because y'all hamming up Anthony Mackie for something that Chris Evans stood 10 toes with. And
that's
the
it.
character itself, for those nerds who want to sit there and talk about the separation between
Not those
adaptation
nerds.
and source material, guess what? That's source material energy. That's source material energy. How do y'all think y'all got John Walker anyway? Uh, uh, uh,
And the
uh,
man gonna get you every time.
uh. John Walker, the dude who became U.S. agent, the guy who's going to be in the Thunderbolts movie because he was
I
Captain
mean,
America on the
right.
TV show. Don't make me pull my books out. Okay. If y'all ever, matter of fact, now I got to do it. Now I got to, I'm stick to the mission. I'm stick
Don't
to the
give him too
mission.
much. Don't give him too
I'm
much.
stick to the mission. Okay. Stick to the mission. Because things, man, it'll shock folks. It'll shock folks. It'll shock folks. I'm telling you it will.
Yeah.
Do I have it up there? I think I do. Where he had the black Bucky and everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
They ain't
so
ready.
they ain't ready for that. They ain't ready.
You can't handle the truth.
You know what I mean? Word to Jack Nicholson. You can't handle the truth. But I think what he said, in a way, I think what he said, if people wasn't so busy being fake patriots, that they would be able to understand and even appreciate the comment.
Yeah.
Because what's supposed to make America great is not just the location. It's supposed to be these principles that they want us to believe the country actually stands on.
Right.
And that's what he's saying that Captain America is supposed to be about. So if you truly believe that, then it's a compliment. But you're so busy worried about, America getting put down and look at some kind of way that, I don't like to use the term butt hurt, but it applies here. It applies here. Spade, spade, being called a spade.
I was about to say you got to call a spade a spade when it's all said and done.
But I'm looking forward to seeing this movie. I have my concerns. I'm not going to lie. I have my concerns
Which they
the
are.
execution,
Oh, okay.
about the
But why?
execution in the movie. Um, because whenever black characters are elevated, especially in legacy positions,
Mm.
it's like damn, it feels like a tryout, man. It feels like a tryout for all the rest of the movies with black superhero leads that we want. So it's like if this don't go right, we'll never get the truth, red, white, and black. The story
Yeah.
of the first black Captain America. We'll never
Mm.
get that story if we don't get this right. Mind you, the character who that story is based on will be in this movie.
Mm.
So if this movie goes well, he goes from being a character that popped up in the Disney Plus show and then was used in this movie as part of a plot device to actually being a good story that can now be brought to life.
Interesting.
Um, and he has a son and a grandson. So who
Mm.
inherit his powers. So if this story
Oh, so it's
goes
like a
well,
legacy
we
type
can get
thing.
those. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
If this movie goes well, we can get those. If this movie doesn't
Right.
go well, we'll never see those guys. They'll never see the
Okay,
light of
I
day.
see. I
You know what
get
I'm
why it's
saying?
a concern.
Also, because so many people still want to look at Anthony Mackie's character as Falcon. He needs
Because I
this to
do.
define him. He needs him to define him as the current Captain America for however many movies they want this to run. Don't get me wrong. I am not an idiot. I am not obtuse. And I'm not even an optimistic person if I'm being honest, right? I'll be closer to pessimistic than optimistic. But I like to think I'm realistic. And in being realistic, I know that a white man is going to resume the mantle of Captain America at some point during the MCU. I'm well
I
aware.
mean, that's what
I'm
makes
well aware.
money.
I'm well aware. It even happened in the books for a while. Then they kind of tried to change it back. Now there's multiple Captain Americas. Not going to bog y'all down with that. But I understand how status quo works.
Comments be funny.
Pause. Pause. You're right. You're right to say pause. Yeah, they gotta knock this one out the park to create the opportunities for those other characters, those other black characters who people are trying to petition a movie for, because this is
Right.
a legacy character at that. You know what I mean? If it was somebody out the box who isn't that popular, then it's like, okay, you playing with house money a little bit. Because then if
Yeah.
it fails, you could just be like, oh well, people didn't want to give him a chance because they don't know who he is. But because we saw him as Falcon already, um, because we saw,
People be cracking me up.
I'm just glad I'm not the only immature one in the building. Shout out to Mr. Know It All.
Oh, y'all hilarious with that.
Shout out to Mr. Know It All. Shout out to my bro Adrian, man. Shout out to A. But yeah, so like those other characters that we're petitioning for, like me and a lot of people are petitioning for Blue Marvel to finally get some spotlight, whether it's a TV show or a movie. Even Yahya Abdul Mateen about to play Wonder Man for the Disney Plus series. And Wonder Man is a white character, mind you. So the
Mm,
fact that they picked him to, you know what I'm saying? Like, if
yeah.
this really goes the way of the Marvels, the way that movie went, it could mess some things up for black characters for
Right.
years. 4 years. Um, I don't want him to take the serum though, Keith, but I'm gonna start doing some nerd content. I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna go about it so I can start having these discussions. You know what I'm saying?
On your
Um,
Twitch. Twitch.
my Twitch is so dead. I'll be talking to myself, and Twitch is so specific. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't game or you're not a Twitch streamer yourself, or you know what I'm saying, a fan of Twitch,
Mm,
I'm not gonna be able to loop you in. Like people use YouTube, people use Facebook. You know what I'm saying? So it's easier to loop you in on a platform that you're already taking part of than to try to
okay.
convince you to now download this app that you're not gonna use outside of just watching me. I don't think that folks love me that much. A few will, but it'll be the same three every week, and they might not tune in every week.
I mean,
They
got a
might
point
not even
there.
tune in every week. So,
Got a
you
point
know,
there.
well, hey, what we always say, KYP, know your
Know your
personnel.
personnel.
But we got a few people in here, so we can kind of get to the main topics we had. So, artist, because I don't know. They say she's a singer. They say she's a rapper.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
she's a rapper or
she
something.
is a rapper, but she's ass. Um, Dank Demoss. Am I pronouncing her name right?
I don't know the girl name, child. I ain't even look.
Um,
I wasn't that interested.
yeah. Honestly, I've heard her rap, and I've had enough. I've heard enough.
I
Um,
mean, shit, I
but
heard some of these regular rappers rapping. I had
but
enough.
that's
Shout
what
out
I'm
to you
saying.
guys.
She just honestly, she just falls into she's one of those Makuchi rappers. So like, I'm over the Makuchi rap. Um,
My neck, my
like,
back.
yeah, I'm over the Makuchi rap. Like, y'all got it. Do y'all thing, but I don't want to hear
This man
it.
said the my coochie rap. That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
because every verse start with Makuchi. Like everything start with Makuchi, or you go back to Makuchi. So that's the Makuchi rappers.
Got
She's
it.
she's
Fair
she's a
enough.
Makuchi rapper. And she ordered a Lyft and the driver refused her service. So let's, ooh, shit. You ever catch yourself about to say something and realize how bad it's going to sound?
Yup. I do it quite often on this show. And
So,
sometimes I don't
y'all,
give a fuck, but yeah, I catch myself.
y'all, I'll say the quiet part out loud. Sis is 500 pounds. Um, and what I was about to say was, so let's address the elephant in the room. I'm fat, y'all. So I want y'all to know I'm not that kind of insensitive. I'm not that kind of insensitive. I
Oh,
really ain't. I
Jesus.
really ain't.
Ooh.
But I heard myself saying it in relevance
And
to what we was talking about. It was
it
like,
just sounded
boy,
so bad, right?
boy,
Don't do
you
that.
bet not. Boy,
Don't
you
do
bet
that.
not. Oh man. I called her my coochie rat brain.
Oh,
And
he
Mr. Know It
ain't
All gonna
seen her
say,
coochie in years.
I'm gonna say, I can't even read that.
He-
I can't even get that out and try and read it. I just had to put it on screen. I
I
just had
see
to put that on the screen.
y'all are on one
Oh
today,
man.
and it's early. Like
Oh
we in
man.
30 minutes in.
Oh man. Let me sip some water because I can't believe how bad that was going to sound. Good Lord. Mm, mm, mm.
Well,
And that ain't even me, y'all. But
yeah, nah,
that is the situation.
we know.
The young y'all know, but Jim said if this go to places it's supposed to go, that's gonna get me canceled before I even get started.
Maybe not. The world is a strange
I'm
place.
gonna have to start. I'm gonna have to start doing production only episodes,
You
and you
on
just gonna be
camera,
the face
bro.
of Life Be Life.
You on camera, bro. We can't do this no more. They ain't rocking. They ain't
We got a
rocking.
bench. We gotta put you on the bench, coach.
Yeah, you gotta take a time out.
Means you gotta play all 48 minutes. You gotta hit the bench, coach.
Man, but I ain't
Uh, but so the young
right.
lady is 500 pounds or close enough to it, and the driver refused her service due to her weight. I'll be honest. I did not watch the video of the actual conversation and back and forth.
I
I
didn't
did not.
either.
I did not. I know that she has, reached out to Lyft and that lawsuit is going to be filed if it has not been filed already.
So my
Lyft
understanding
offered an
is
apology. Lyft
okay.
did offer an apology on their behalf and called his behavior unacceptable.
Hmm.
Um, so again, as far as I know, she intends to file a lawsuit.
I think she already filed it
Okay, well let cool. So she already filed a lawsuit. In fact, let me double check
because
because
she had like a lawyer already. Like they did a press conference.
yeah,
So like
yeah,
apparently
yeah,
she posted
yeah.
about it.
She
The
already filed.
driver.
You are correct.
Yep. The
She
I'm
already filed a
sorry.
discrimination suit.
Yep. The driver was put on suspension or something like that. They reached out to her and asked her to contact them. She had already acquired a lawyer and was in process of filing the suit, and that is done at this point.
Yeah.
Um,
So thoughts.
dare I say,
Let's
Shorty
get
saw
to
to
the
come up and
thoughts.
went to it. I'm sorry, like Shorty saw to come
Mm,
up and went for it.
mm.
She saw to come up and went for it because okay,
Wow.
and so I'm gonna say this right because I am.
Mm. Keith is on one.
I said they started early and it's just 9:30.
He is on one.
So Taya, type what you mean by discrimination by law. Put that in the comments and we'll put that on the screen. However, listen, I don't weigh 500 pounds. I am definitely a thick chick, but I don't weigh 500 pounds. When I order a Uber, and I don't do that often because I don't like getting in them, right? I have this thing like I have a fear of Ubers and Lyfts. I don't think I've ever been in a Lyft. Number one, I haven't taken a cab since my first year out of college in Miami, and I was about to have to debt the cab driver. I don't like
Dang.
that kind of transportation. It just gives me creepy vibes, right? I'm the type of person where when I'm in a Lyft or Uber, whatever, I share my route with people so they know where I am, where I'm going. Cause I don't want to get kidnapped. Like I ain't trying to get trafficked or killed and my organs sold off. But anyway, all I have to say, when I do take Ubers, I am the person that's ordering a Uber Comfort because A, I don't want you to talk to me. B, I don't want to be in no weird smelling cars. C, I want the temperature a certain way. I don't want you playing no music. I don't want to have conversation. So I'm already bougie and picky about that anyway. But at the end of the day, if I get an Uber that's like a Honda Civic hatchback, I'm canceling that bitch and I'm gonna find me something else because I drive a whole ass new Impala and a Suburban, and I'm 5'1", 250 pounds. Sir, ma'am, why are you ordering an Uber and when you see they sending you a motherfucking Honda Elantra, you think you gonna fit your 500 pound ass in this little ass car? And you think somebody's supposed to be cool with that? I'm I'm not understanding. So if oh boy, because the insurance they have to carry if something in fact did happen to his vehicle because of her weight, Uber is not going to be responsible for that. And
They're
he
not.
does have the right to deny riders if he feels like they're. I know somebody was put out of an Uber because they were on the phone cussing irate, and the driver was concerned.
They can't refuse you service.
They can refuse you service, just like a restaurant can refuse you service. You can be refused service just about anywhere these days.
I've seen people turn up because they was too drunk. Tyler said you can't just look at someone and refuse a ride for appearance. Lyft does not have a policy about being able to refuse rides over a rider's weight. I'm sure they don't have that policy, but the question is, do they have a policy against it?
Exactly.
Um, Now I see where discrimination, suit can be finagled, um, where it can be finagled, depending on how you want to step. Simply because there's no debate, right? Like if you say that you wasn't gonna let somebody in your car because they were intoxicated or
Right.
because they appeared inebriated or whatever, what have you, it'll come down to your opinion versus theirs, right? The in this case, you know, he said it. She said has the proof of him refusing her directly because of her weight. So it's not a he say she say um type of thing. Um, I was trying to see if I can find the picture of her
So it
stepping out of a
says,
truck.
oh Lord, it says that Lyft drivers can turn down passengers for perceived security threats. They cannot deny rides based on protected characteristics. So I'm going to assume that
Protected
means,
characteristics.
mm-hmm.
Ah. See, now, so it means they could possibly take the L. They probably gonna have to pay out on that. Um, and
That's
that,
what I was trying to say. So they're not Lyft is not. So they get 1099 from my understanding. They are
yeah,
considered independent contractors.
yes,
So you can't tell me what I can do in a vehicle that I have to get special insurance on that you're not liable for if I get into an accident or something of that nature. You can't tell me that I can't look at a person and say, hey, I cannot accept this ride because my vehicle isn't conducive to transport you, regardless of what the situation is. I've seen people be denied rides because they have children and they have picked a Uber or Lyft that does not have a car seat. I can't
hmm
transport your kid that's not in a car seat.
hmm
And I understand people that are of size want to be offended by this, But again, you already know, hey, I can't fit in certain vehicles. So why are you gonna test the waters? Again, I just said I'm 250 pounds, 5'1". I'm not getting in a little ass car. Period. I'm not even requesting a little ass car.
Okay, and that's where what you said kind of may have some credence, right? Because it's like, well, what did you even request a sedan for? What did you even request a coupe type car for at 500 pounds?
And I would have
I've
took
been,
that suspension. Taya
I,
said the driver can, but he's gonna be suspended. And I would have took that suspension.
yeah, I'd have took
Because
that
at the
too.
end of the day, my car is
Yeah,
gonna be
Lyft
out
did
condition.
apologize already. Lyft did
Because
apologize and like quickly, and
yes,
then
they
they,
did. They did.
said that she can reach out to them, and for sure, they'll pay out because of what you mentioned earlier
For sure.
about the protected
Protected
characteristics,
characteristics. It's a nice way
which
for them to
is
put
is
that.
is fancy. Yeah, right, fancy as hell, ain't it? Um, that's fancy as hell. But yeah, I would take the suspension. I would take the suspension. I'd rather take the suspension than have to pay for my suspension.
Exactly.
Um,
There you go.
so at my heaviest ever, I was 360. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 360 something. At my heaviest. I wasn't my heaviest when I went to go shop for the first car that I'd ever buy. I was still in the twos, somewhere between 220, 240. I can't really exactly remember at the time. Hadn't even hit 300 pounds yet. I saw a car, I didn't know cars by name. So when somebody told me, gave me this good price, this good mileage, and it was a Ford Focus, I said, oh, I'm gonna go try it out.
No.
Man, what?
No.
I tried to get into that, sat there, and he's like, let me take you for a spin around the block. I said, brother, I'm not gonna waste your time. I'm not gonna waste your time. Look at me. And
Look
he
at me. Now look
laughed.
at this car. Now look at me again. Now look at this car
Okay.
again. It's not garbage.
And he laughed.
So, and it's
And
like,
he
you know
laughed.
that, right? And Taya said it was his comments that were the issue.
I was just about
So
to put that on screen.
I did not see the video of the back and forth.
I didn't watch it either.
So
And yeah, that could certainly be the issue where he's going to be hung by his own petard.
right, right.
Because you still
I
have to
mean,
maintain a level of professionalism.
exactly, exactly. So I'm remiss for not having watched the video, but I still
As am
stand
I.
where I stand on the business that I'm standing on. You 500 pounds. There's no reason why you should be ordering a sedan. I don't care. Fight me if you don't like what I said. Again, I'm 250 pounds on a good day, 5'1", and I'm not ordering a sedan. And like I said, I drive an Impala. And at this point, in going back and forth between my Suburban and my Impala, I'm kind of like getting in and out of my Impala is getting on my nerves because it's low to the ground. Da, 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 da. No, I'm not doing that. Like, and for her to be delusional enough to think that ordering a sedan of a smaller size, she's going to fit in it comfortably, and somebody's supposed to be comfortable with them having to transport her ass, it's crazy to me. And I get it
So
because it's like the airplane seat thing where bigger
buy two
people don't want to buy
seats.
two seats, but
hmm
you can't fit in one seat. So now everybody in that row got to be uncomfortable because you want to be cheap.
Listen, that's part of the and as a fat man, I can tell you that's part of the price you pay for being
For
a certain
being
level of
for being
fat.
a yeah, and
Whether it's
exactly.
because you're not working hard enough to lose the weight, or whether you have conditions and issues that keep you from losing the weight, one way or
Yeah.
another, if you have to fly, if you have to drive somewhere, if you have to move about some level of transportation, you are going to inconvenience other people or be inconvenienced. Or, in some situations, you're not going to be able to slide. Um,
I'm sorry. Ooh,
nah,
Jesus.
he didn't get crazy, but you can't say you can't get in my car because you're going to mess up my tires. Oh, unfortunately, you can't just come out and say
You
that.
can't, yeah, I mean, you
You
can't.
can't.
But
You
where's
can't.
the lie? I
I
mean,
mean, I get it. I get it though. I get it though. I get it. I get it. I was gonna.
yeah.
So I was looking for the picture because I've seen that she posted pictures of her in a vehicle, and I was gonna post the pictures, and then I said again, this is kind of like going back to wisdom, right? Oh, you don't. You. I know you don't pick your Lyft car, but you see, don't they show you what car is going to be when they show
So
you
when
the
I
driver? I know that
so
works
for
with Uber, but
Uber,
tell me if that's not with Lyft.
yeah, that's why I want to ask because I know with Uber it will tell you what type of car is being sent to you, and you
Yeah,
literally can cancel that.
yeah, yeah. Because I had, because like I said,
I have,
I can't fit in no Toyota Prius, and I can't fit in the Ford Focus. I already know
and
that.
I can, but I don't want to. It's not comfortable.
I'm not fitting to harm myself sitting there,
And I've seen people try to peel
knees
themselves
in
out
my
of cars.
guts. You know what I'm
Mm-mm.
saying?
I'm
Knees
not
all on
doing
the
it.
back seat.
Yeah,
No,
no,
I'm not doing that.
miss me,
Looked like
miss
Shaq
me.
when he was trying to advertise for that damn sports car or whatever commercial he was doing, when he was doing the general commercial and he was in that sports car and got out. It was like the general will come. Man, Shaq, you don't fit in that goddamn car. It does show you, okay, so let me put this on screen. Yes, it does show you, but she says she never orders XL. She's a liar. She's a liar. She's a motherfucking
she
liar. She gonna have to show
she
the
might
receipts.
she
And if
might
she
not be
don't,
lying.
then she's delusional and she's not fair. She's not playing the game fair. Because let
And
me
that's
tell you
my
something.
problem. That's my
Let me tell
problem
you something.
because I'm sure she know better. She just
You
don't
know
give a
what?
fuck.
She just might. Yeah, she just might. She just might. Listen, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna be very clear about it. Very, very clear about it. Despite my issues with body positivity as a concept, and what I mean by that is the fact that it's flawed and fraud, not the fact that you should have you should see beauty in yourself at every size. I'm perfectly fine with that as a concept. Um, because everything ain't for everybody, and there's somebody for just about everybody.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like it, you love it. Cool. So I'm cool with that aspect of body positivity. The other one I ain't gonna get into because that's a whole nother episode. But see, this be the problem with political correctness is that it allows people to be inconveniently delusional.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, it should be a situation where if I pull up in my Hyundai Elantra and Dank Demoss has ordered my ride and I see her there and I'm like, oh sis, I'm sorry. Uh, please request another one. I won't take the charge. Good night. This ain't finna work. This ain't finna work.
This
This
ain't
ain't finna
for me.
work.
This ain't
When
for me.
my fat ass get in my 2006 Hyundai Elantra, it lowers and it's already low to the ground. That's with
Yeah.
me being 330.
Yeah.
Just me. Baby, there's no fucking way. And I
Ain't no way.
know, and I know, and I know, and I know, and I know people, because I've seen the post, and I know the conversation is going to be, well, then you can't take that many people that equal up to 500 pounds, can you? Because multiple people can equal to 500 pounds. Sure, sure. But we're going to act like we didn't go to school and we didn't do science and we didn't do math and we didn't learn that there's such a thing called weight distribution. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. Where if we give you something and we just place it in one spot as opposed to spreading it out, the balance and everything don't hit different. That's what we doing.
Yeah. I
All right. Okay, cool. We lying. Yeah, 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 yeah. She is a rapper. Yeah, yeah. No, I said that earlier. She's a Makuchi rapper.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah.
You're killing me with that statement, bro.
I don't know what else to call them. We got mumble rappers. We got the dr- we got
Oh,
the addict rappers.
I
We got
call
the
them
mumble
perky
rappers, the
rappers.
addict
We got
rappers.
I call them perky rappers.
Yeah, you know what I mean? For real, for real. The
Dude,
perky rappers, the addict rappers. What's going on, Myra? Welcome to the chat. Um,
I mean, you know what? She getting herself a little fame and
you know,
notoriety off of
we
this. She
got the
probably gonna
drill,
get
we
her
got the
some
drill
money.
rappers, we got the drill
Yeah, she
rappers,
probably.
and we got the Makuchi rappers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she probably gonna, get a little fame and notoriety off of this. She about to come up off of, some
For
money,
sure.
from Lyft. Like,
For sure. She's gonna try somebody's gonna write her a lift bar into this somewhere in one of her next songs. Or she's gonna mess around and do a video and have have the car there
uh,
or something like that. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
shawty.
Because I was about to post the
Nah,
pictures and then I say, you know what? Nah, y'all try to trick me out my spot. Y'all try to trick me out
don't
my
do
spot.
it.
Cause y'all
Please
gonna
don't
show
do it.
cause that's when all of a sudden my ignorant ass is all of a sudden somebody gonna catch it and then they gonna clip it and they like, see, he out there body shaming. He's out there
Yep.
body shaming this girl.
Yeah,
Nah,
no,
nah, nah. Y'all
nobody's
not
body
gonna
shaming her,
no, y'all not gonna
but
trick me out my spot. Y'all not gonna trick me out my
we
spot.
don't tolerate ignorance over here, and she is
Nah,
blissfully ignorant to the fact that, ma'am, don't ever order an Uber that's not a XL or a double XL, or
baby,
I don't
ain't
know, order
nothing.
you SUV or something, because
Baby, and
sweetheart,
nothing in life once you hit 500 pounds, nothing in life you doing don't have XL attached to it.
exactly, like, come
So
on
why
now.
would you not do that for your own comfort?
I don't know.
Okay.
It makes me wonder about people.
He hit a speed bumper, turn wrong, and that launch. You probably done tore
It's
something.
over, like over.
You probably done tore something. You injured. You not going on tour.
I just imagine it now. The whole right side of the vehicle is just like
Man,
gangster
what?
leaning. Like, come on, bro.
You
Like,
gonna hear
be
something go,
fucking for real.
you gonna hear that sound and then yeah, no. Yeah,
Be
no.
fucking for real,
And
sweetheart.
and
Like,
as to the brother, there's a right and a wrong way to do everything.
yeah, that was very
There is
unprofessional.
a right and a wrong way to do everything. Bro, you even if you're doing something like Lyft, it's a job and we gotta keep in mind that our
Yeah,
jobs need certain levels of professionalism. You know what I'm saying?
agreed.
Doing content, doing this, the podcast, making that a job. I need to do certain things in a professional manner. Doesn't matter how loose our conversations are, how much slang or, whatever vernacular we use here. When I get to certain points where I'm getting paid to perform, I have to be there on time. I have to, you know what I'm saying, adhere to whatever is in the contract. I
Right.
have to be professional. If somebody's saying that they want to get on and come on the show, I can't be like, yeah, my nigga, jump on wherever you want. Like, no, no, no.
There's
It's
protocols.
it's protocols, conversations we have to have, making sure that we got the date booked, the concept of the conversation already put
Yeah,
together, all those types of things. So, brother, where I completely understand your logic, you fumble. And
yeah,
I just hope that this don't hurt your pockets like that, though. I ain't gonna lie
yeah.
to you.
He made this something
You
bigger
you
than what
made
it
you
needed
made
to
a
be.
bad, yeah. You made it. You mishandled the situation. And sometimes, like I said, I hope it don't happen to you. But if it do, unfortunately, that's the mess you bought yourself. Um,
Yeah, very unfortunate, but
very unfortunate all the way around. She gonna get top dog. He gotta get.
listen.
Man, we always getting them commercials here. Top dog law. Top dog law. Um. But yeah, so let's move on to the second topic.
But
Um,
before we do,
we ain't
I
gonna
agree
be
with
nowhere on
Taya.
time. Shit. Relax, relax, relax. Relax, Myra.
I
Relax,
I
Myra. Chill on me. Stall me out, brother.
stall me out. Come on, y'all don't do that. Stall
Stall
me
me out,
out,
brother.
G.
I ain't even putting that on screen. You're not finna do me like that. Nah, I'm
Oh
humble
man.
myself. I'll put it on
But
screen because those who know.
yeah, they know. But Ty is right. Lyft does need to update their policy,
I
because
agree.
I feel after this, how can you not update your policy? How can you not?
Oh, they sure will. They sure will. They sure will because they're gonna start being explicit about protected characteristics.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
So
Because of course, one of those is race and age and stuff like that. They're gonna be
I'm
specific about what
sure.
falls to protected categories or characteristics after this for sure, for sure.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because then a motherfucker will try to get in some shit when he know he too tall or she too tall, and he'd be like, nah, like Lisa Leslie,
And
you
then
can't fit my shit.
and then it be
Like,
them same people that are complain. Oh, the car was too small and I was uncomfortable. You giving them an unfair rating because what?
yeah, no.
Nah.
I don't know why if she really don't never order XL, but yet that picture of her getting out of a big body. Yeah, all right, sis. All right,
I'm gonna
sis.
have to go research this later
All
because
right,
that's crazy.
sis. God,
I've seen a
God
picture
bless
of
you.
her,
It's
but
definitely too vague, bro.
yeah,
It's definitely too vague. And that's
way
but
too big.
and that's what happens. That's what happens. Um,
Because it's it leaves no liability and culpability for Lyft is what it is. And
mm-hmm.
Lyft is a type of company. It's like they want the contractors, the people that work for them, to be responsible for
Take on
everything
all the risk. Yep,
and take on all. Exactly, you took the word right on. I take on all the risk, and they get all the reward. Like that's
yep,
crazy to me. That's just crazy to me. Like,
yep.
but we're gonna learn. We need to start patronizing these types of businesses too, because there's a car ride share this black owned.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I have to look it up.
yeah. Get
I
that
saved it a
information so
while
we could
ago.
put it. Get that information so we could put it in the next episode.
Yeah, and it's funny because I like going back to what I said last week. This we need to start communing. So like there are car
Absolutely.
services out here. Find these people that are these black owned car services, like because I literally say to
Bring back
myself,
the Hackman. Bring back the
exactly,
Hackman.
exactly. Like, come
Bring
on
back the
now.
Hackman.
I would trust that over these wild ass Ubers and shit. Like they doing too much
On
weird
God, I
shit.
would.
So
On God, I
so
would.
it's like, yeah, we need to start finding people that's like, hey, if you doing that, come be my car service. I literally was thinking about this shit the other day. I was like, man, I'm at the point where I want to sell all my vehicles. I probably what I pay for insurance, and I only got a note on my truck. But that and yeah, I probably could pay for a month car service. Come get me and drive me and drop me off. Come pick me up and take me home. It'd probably be cheaper. I ain't got to pay for gas, insurance, and you got all the responsibility of the vehicle. It sounds like heaven to me.
Right. Right.
But yeah, I don't know. It's man. These are the dog years. Motherfuckers gonna shed. That's all I can say.
That's a bar.
I got that from
Um,
Jay Z. I didn't make that up, just so y'all know. I ain't that grand with the wordsmith. So.
um, so let's go on to the topic that I did say we was going to speak on this week. Tonight's conversation. As you all know, um, they are going through quite the scandal right now.
Ugh,
Peter Rose
scandalous.
is going up and going off. Ace Metaphor is periodically responding. Other people
Gaslighting,
are
you mean?
giving. Um, it's not all gaslight. Some stuff he's dropping is facts, but yeah, doing that too for sure. Gaslighting
Mm,
for sure.
mm,
I mean, it's Ace Metaphor. What did you expect? Um,
exactly.
um,
I bet. Shit. It's embarrassing. But nonetheless. Taya quit it. We're
understandably
quitting.
so. Understandably
Thank you,
so.
Reg.
Appreciate you, cuz. Appreciate you, cuz. Appreciate you, cuz. Shout out to shout out once again to our guy, um, friend of the pod, Kyle Waters, you know what I'm saying, over at Gemini Customs. That's Gemini with a G, Customs with a K. Um,
Mm-hmm.
he actually came up with the design and he sent us the two
Yes.
shirts. You
Yes.
know what I'm saying? So shout out to bro. Um, Definitely get with him. In fact, get with him right now if you're in Philly because he's actually making designs, Eagles gear designs. So, you know what I mean?
Oh.
Get with Kyle, get with Gemini Customs. Y'all should know how to spell Gemini Customs with a K. Get with him and go ahead and you know, order yourself some gear. Um, I ain't on no NDA. I ain't calling the nigga Mojo Jojo. Ace
I'm
Metaphor.
like saying, oh,
I ain't
she
got no
can
NDA.
Slim. She is killing me with that mojo dojo shit. That shit be having me dead as fuck because she's so serious every time she say it.
She is.
She's so
Um,
serious. But on a serious note about this shit, right?
so for myself, I've absorbed a lot of information, not just her. perspective. I've absorbed a lot of information in a couple of days so that I could talk about this in a particular way.
Same,
Um,
same.
and as usual, we are going to start with my dazzling co-host, Mish. What did you get from it?
Mm-mm,
Nah,
mm-mm,
I got to go last. I
mm-mm.
got to go last.
Oh
I
my
got to go last.
God. You're
I got
killing
to go
me,
last because
Smalls.
I
You're
got to go last
killing
because
me,
I'm gonna say
Smalls.
some things. I'm gonna say some things some folks ain't gonna like. I got to
That's
go
hold up.
last.
That's normally my forte, which is why you
I
should go
know,
first, so I
I
can clear
know,
this up.
I know. It is
It's,
it is a
it is
bid,
it
bro.
is a whole big. It is definitely
It
the
is
whole.
a
So
bid,
all
guys,
right.
for sure, for sure.
So when I saw the very first video, right, I literally said to myself, "No, what the fuck is going on here?" Now let's go back a couple days prior to. I
Pause 1 second.
saw.
Pause 1 second. Because I realized there may be somebody who comes along because we were doing this with another topic. People seem like they didn't know. Some people live under a rock. Some people ignore these things. Tonight's conversation is a pseudo podcast. Um, and I say pseudo because it's not really podcast at this point in time. But right now they are a tour slash talk show slash podcast. That's why I said pseudo. Um,
Hold on before you say that. Don't they have an
mhm.
actual pod though? But you have to subscribe in
Yeah,
order to
but
see the pod. Okay,
exactly.
okay. I'm just making
Exactly.
sure we're
Thank you.
tracking.
Nope. Thank you. Thank you for throwing that in. Appreciate it. Thank you for including that information. Um, so they've been going, it was a card game that advertisements for the card game became a podcast, and the podcast became a whole tour. So that's the evolution of it to how it got here. And, some people have come and gone. Ace Metaphor is indeed the creator and the showrunner of the entire thing, director, producer, owner of the entire thing. It's all him.
Mm,
And he casts particular guests to come and have these conversations from city to city, state to state.
right, right.
Um, There's been allegations of bad business because certain people have been let go. And one of these former employees, who goes by the name Keita Rose, real name Nikita Moon, um, is definitely dropping a lot of tape. She's dropping a lot of tape about her experience and what's been so bad about it and letting people know that she will not go quiet. So now you'll pick up. You can pick up.
So what made me even pay? Because I'm gonna be very honest. She's, and this is no shade to her
Okay.
because her content and the things that she say has a lot of validity to them. She spits a lot of facts. She drops a lot of gems. But it be the animation she got going on for me sometimes that caused me to be like, I can't do this with her right now. However, because I saw Trip Fontaine in a video like a couple days prior to her dropping the first episode of what was it thus far, seven? In the Who the Fuck Did I Work For um series, I said, oh, I'm gonna pay attention to this shit because this seems very interesting. Because remember, when we went, I said, notice we ain't seen Randy. Where the fuck is Randy? And then, not to be confused with Keita Rose, but Kitty Rose was now popping up on the scene on the tour more often. This is when they had added Trill. Um and so you kind of, this is when you start to see the evolution of people being cycled out and the more popular people being cycled in. Now put a pin in that when I said the more popular people being cycled in, okay? So it made me say, I'm about to listen to what this crazy ass girl talk about, animation and all. Because with the whole like like Ray said, the Mojo Jojo shit. And I was just like, who the fuck is Mojo Jojo? I had to look the shit up. I was like, this bitch is on one. So when she started dropping shit, I was like, it all is starting to fucking make sense. And I remember explicitly you saying, the Ace Metaphor was a put on. Like he know how to put on the show. That he ain't no different from a certain somebody who was being drugged through the mud back then. Now, in my researching that I love to do, everybody thinks that he started. It definitely Taya. I'd be like, Kita, you're losing me, baby. And she addressed somebody about that. She was like, basically, I don't give a fuck how y'all feel about my animated ways of telling a story. I'm gonna do what I feel. Cool, you got it. I'ma listen. I'ma tune in. But I'm sure a lot of people gonna tune the fuck out because of that shit. And they're gonna miss the point you're trying to make. But okay, brought you that. But going back, so this all started with him and another certain somebody that was being drugged through the mud around that time last year when we went to the show. And apparently, a lot of this show is not Ace Metaphor's idea. This is what's being said. It's said that Derek Jackson kind of came up with this concept. And the card game is his concept that Ace Metaphor stole and ran with. And what people like Randy and Keita and I guess Trip ain't said because he's a real ass nigga. He's not gonna say like I was being used and abused by Ace Metaphor. A lot of people take issue with him and how he operates, and that he funny with the money. So again, here we go, another situation that boils down to money. And like Keita said the other day, she was like, I mean, I guess I must be broke, but $500,000 ain't no drop in the bucket, and I want my money. You living life high on a hog, but you not paying these people. And so apparently, like she was saying how she had a 9 to 5, and on a Friday she would fly to whatever the first city was, go to 3 cities over the weekend, and be gone back home Monday for her job. Now, up until recently, I guess this new season or tour season, he was paying for all of that. Now all of a sudden, you gotta pay for that shit yourself. So she like, how if we get in more shows, more cities, we getting a bigger audience, it's a bigger platform, and you not paying us, and we gotta pay for shit out of pocket. What's going on? So she basically was like, that's the crux of my issue with him, aside from his, abusive ways. And I just kind of was like, everything ain't what you think it is. You see some shit and you like, oh, what a neat concept. They're so cool. But I think what shocked me now was the shit that she dropped about Kitty. I was just like, this is why you gotta be careful about what you do and say on the internet, because that shit will come back to haunt you without a doubt.
All right,
And
folks, I just put Mojo Jojo on the screen for y'all to see the character that she referenced.
it's not showing it.
It's not showing it? Damn.
Nah. Well, I can't see it. Can y'all see it?
They said it was sharing it, but I couldn't see it either.
Something, your screen is black.
Yeah,
So
it's black now all of a sudden. Let's see if I can go
oh,
back to
good point, Tyre. And Nyree says that about like folks like Ace Metaphor and Derek Jackson. Like he calls it pandering to women. And that's basically what they do. So no, I've
Panda,
never
Panda,
trusted
Panda.
anything. You know my nerves. I've never trusted anything he said.
At frauds
Now
and
we went to the
scammers.
show for simple pod content, and
Mm-hmm.
in comparison to the show I went to with a friend, the show I went to with Nah and friend of the pod Tommy was much better. But it was also because they had circled in these new people or cycled in these new people. Now, Randy apparently wanted to go do her own thing. So he wasn't with that. Um, who was the other dude that we always say was born? Now I can't think of his name.
Mike. Mike the Pope.
He wasn't bringing no real, value to the show anymore. So boom, you out of here. He was replaced with Trill. Clearly we know that Kitty was replaced, you know,
I'll
replaced
post it on
Randy.
the on my Facebook for you guys to see. For those of you
It's
who
so
don't know who
funny.
Mojo Jojo is.
It's hilarious. That's the perfect name for him. So you can kind of see where, like, and now
It
he got
definitely
Dr.
be so
Cheyenne.
obvious.
It'd be very obvious. Now he got Dr. Cheyenne Bryan on there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And he had Stefan Speaks on there for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And then you like notice his run on there was very short lived because he probably
Very
was like,
short.
yeah, this ain't for me. And it's like Trip. I feel like Trip was just kind of like, you know what? I got word to give to the people, but I can't keep doing this shit with him. So to stand in solidarity, I gotta roll out because you ain't gonna play with my money and you ain't gonna play with my platform. See, and I don't like the people calling it a rant because I don't want to call it a rant. Like
I
she's
mean, it
literally
is.
just
She
telling
called
her
it that too.
story. Well, I don't want to call it a rant because it's a whole fucking series. It's like she dropping the information, she dropping tape, as you like to say. And I feel like people think it's a rant because she is so animated about it. But I don't understand why when black women get upset and they go off about some shit. She has explicitly said that she has manic episodes. She is. Did she say she was bipolar? Yeah. So it's like he. She was like he triggers me on purpose because he knows that I'm gonna look crazy because I have these disorders. Okay. Oh, so why we just can't let this girl go off and we hear what the fuck she's saying about this man? And then you post the recordings of y'all conversation. And she said, so yeah, I was screaming and hollering and cussing and I sounded that way because this is a whole week of him calling me day in, day out. Won't stop calling me. We know that's what narcissists do. They're gonna try to call you and bait you, get you to do what they want you to do behind closed doors, then they're gonna embarrass you publicly. She was like, he would not stop calling. So finally I took the call and I was fed up at this point. Now, let's be realistic. How many times we done got into a back and forth with somebody? They won't leave you the fuck alone till you talk to them. Then finally, when you get on the phone with them or you get face to face with them, y'all in a whole knockdown drag out because you like, look, stop fucking playing with me. I done tried to be nice to your ass, and now you are causing me to not be so nice. So it's like, I don't know. I can't be so mad at her, to be honest. Like, he seems like the type. That's just my 2 cents. But I'm with her. I stand with her. As crazy as she is, literally and figuratively, as wild as her antics are, as animated as she is, I feel like there's some truth to it because it's too much shit that has gone on with this tour that makes me say scam artist. And we've seen how things went with Derek Jackson. And he apparently kind of scammed Derek Jackson. So I'm like, all right. People want, end of story for me is people don't always be what they seem. You said it before. We be giving too much love, hope, accolades, praise, validation, and shit to these online influencers. You know, it's like, okay, Dr. Shine Bryant, she might be legit. She got doctor in front of her name. I would do some research to find out. Anybody call themselves a doctor these days. But it's like, where all of these people like Kitty come from? And y'all certified counselors and therapists? Says who? No, I'm gonna go see Winger Cullens, who I know got a degree that I've been seeing since 2013. Who legit? That's like I might listen to what y'all saying and I'm like, good point. But I ain't taking none of that shit y'all say as gospel because y'all regular just like me. Y'all put y'all pants on the same way every morning that I do. Y'all tie y'all shoes the same way I do. Y'all go through the same motherfucking problems I do. So ain't none of y'all above what's going on in life. And some of y'all, the shit y'all say sound good, but I don't be trusting none of that shit. Like that's a bar, but keep it moving. Like, no. And I think people just too invested in these online personalities. Like, like being funny earlier when I sent you the little screenshot of Trill liking my post with my comment. And I was just like, oh, I was like, let me stop. Because like seriously, it's not that serious for me. It's just like all I posted was a target. Like, okay, spot on. Like, what made you like that comment of all comments? Weird shit. But all these people be weird, be baiting. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. This whole show is weird. I feel like the shit going on right now wild as hell, and I'm just gonna continue to sit back and eat my popcorn as it unfolds. I don't got no problems with it.
Appreciate your input. and your very astute recap of things. Um,
Astute.
so I'm gonna let y'all know right now, I'm finna be the bad guy. Um, but
Don't
before
do
I
it.
do that, I'm going to verify a lot of what Misha was saying because that is the facts, right?
Hold up before you get going. What
Yeah,
Taya
yeah.
said. See,
You
that's
know,
the
I'm
shit
just
I'm
about to
talking
put it
about.
on screen. Just about to
You
put it
got
on screen.
degrees. Listen, I got degrees, but I also have a certification as a project manager. I'm certified. See,
I was just
keep
about to
going
put
now.
that on screen. Um,
Keep going.
so
Jesus.
everything that Mish recapped is true as far as how the tour went, our experience and what we peeped when we were there. Um, and let me add some things because I've listened to the first four of Keita. I listened to maybe 10 minutes of two of Ace's lives.
I'm
Um,
listening to only one
I've
of hers.
read I've read a couple of the comments that I've seen Rico Hundo's quick brief comment on it. I've seen people comment in Keita's comments, and I've seen Paris from Just Landed in Paris. I watched her live, which is actually really really informative. It's long, it's 2 hours, but
Oh, wow.
she breaks things down in a way that gives you a better picture of how the show actually functions. And I think it's really important to know. And I will say this that watching Ace's lives, I found out important things to know that I'm going to
Mm,
speak on.
okay.
But yes, is he shady? Yes. Is he corrupt? Yes. Is he a shyster? Yes. Is he not who he wants people to think he is? Yes. He, as me said in her closing, is not who he seemed to most people. I said it years and years ago, the
You
same way I
did.
called it with his predecessor, Derek Jackson. Only
Predecessor.
with Ace, his level of duplicity was different. And I even said it. Go back on our episode for season three.
Hmm.
Two-faced metaphor is the name of the episode.
That's exactly what it was.
Two-faced metaphor is the name of the episode. So while I gave him his props as a master tactician in terms of how he operates the show,
That's what it was.
promotion, marketing, and all of those things, I never lost sight of the fact, and I even mentioned it in that episode. I never lost sight of the fact that on Ace Metaphors page, his, not tonight's conversation, go on Instagram if you get a chance. Go to Ace Metaphors page. All of them, him in these medium ass shirts, looking super intense, and either his mouth is either wide open or he looks like he's pointing at the screen and he's yelling at women about men. The entire page. The entire
Yep.
page. Scroll up and down. You don't even have to hit play. He just looks like he's upset. He looks like he's bothered. And then pick any three videos from any corner, and he's never calm. He's never calm.
He
He's
always
always
hype.
always hype.
Always hype.
Not he had peaceful moments during it, but it's setting up for the stage dive. The stage dive. Um Now watch him on tonight's conversation. And if you ever actually like some of his comments that he says about men, you'll realize that he's had men on tonight's conversation, both on the podcast and the set and on tour, that actually fall into the category of men who he tells women to watch out for.
Yep.
Dudes whose beliefs actually run counter to his. And again, this is me giving him credit as a master marketer because you will at some point start seeing people who come onto our show with completely counter uh
Intuitive
intuitive
arguments.
ideas to ours. Because if you're really about creating content, if you're really about having conversations, you have to be willing to have conversations with somebody who's diametrically opposed. The only reason I haven't had some people who are diametrically opposed is because they don't know how to have a conversation. They only know how to have arguments and fights. And I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not on my platform fighting with nobody. So he's had those people on his platform, and there's not a single clip of him shutting any one of those guys down. There's not a single clip of him holding those guys accountable. There's not a single clip of him saying, see, ladies, this is what I was telling y'all about. All that yelling and screaming about these guys and never had that energy for guys in their face. That told me all I needed to know. Right then and there. Yes, 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 yes. He was, yeah, absolutely, Ty. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that is absolutely what makes podcasting rough, especially for black men at the head of podcasts like myself. I go into the game with a black eye because they see black man podcast. Oh my God, I already know. And it makes them think it's got to be two ways. Either I'm the pandering simp or I am the red pill woman hating, you know, what they call it, passport bro. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Or I'm the hurt brokey, but that's all in the same category. Um,
The hurt brokey.
yeah, the hurt brokey. You can't even afford to get a passport. Um, so all that is true. Now I'm gonna get a little bit deeper into things as to why I'm gonna be perceived as a bad guy. Thankfully, Keita has at this point said she doesn't consider herself a victim, nor will she carry that label.
She
And that's
did say
good.
that.
So now when I say what I say, don't say I'm victim blaming.
Well, she said so what she said was y'all not gonna bully me.
She
And
did.
she said she
She
felt
did.
like they were trying to
She
bully
did.
her.
She said she felt like Kitty and Ace was trying to bully her.
And that's probably why I kind of resonate with her, because you know I don't do the bully shit.
Neither do I. Neither do I. So I want to let y'all know right now, I'm not finna defend nothing Ace did or nothing Ace was accused of at all whatsoever. That podcast, yes, unfortunately,
Yeah,
and that's
I'm
what
gonna
popular
say
podcast
sadly.
tends to be. It tends to be the bar for most people' perception of podcasting. I feel you, and that's why when I had a feeling about the show and felt the way about it, that's why me and Misha had the conversation. She went, checked it out herself, and then came back and was like, all right, Nari, let's go. Come on, let's go see it for ourselves again. Let you go see it for yourself. I've seen it, but you got to go see it for yourself. Cool. We
And we
did
took
that,
somebody else along
and we took
for,
somebody else, right.
you
We took
know, for
another
some
party outside
unsolicited.
of, yes.
Yep.
We took
We were
another
like, all
party, a
right,
third party that's not here to make
neutral, a nice
content.
and neutral
Yeah, neutral
party.
party.
Yeah.
Yep, somebody who's not here to make content, somebody who's not going to pick a side just because of the friendship. Literal mutual friend, and boom. So we could all talk about it later on and find out if we're seeing the same things, which we quite frankly did.
The stars aligned.
Okay. Uh, so I won't be doing any of that. What I will say is in watching his live, there's two important things that I noticed that he said. One was that they don't get year contracts. Your contract is over at the end of the season. I'm gonna come back to this, and this is important, y'all. So I want y'all to keep that in mind. Your contract is up at the end of whatever season it is. And the season, not like how our season runs for a year, season as in fall, spring, what your contract is up at that point because they film a lot of stuff in advance. You know what I'm saying? And I learned that from Paris's Law that they film a lot of stuff well in advance so that when they're not physically on the road, you know what I'm saying? They have
content to
content.
draw. Yeah.
While they're picking up new people or trying to, as Mish said, cycle out who's more popular and who's not, they'll still be dropping content with that crew that they had before. So it's a lot of already filmed stuff that we finally see by the time the clips drop. That we haven't seen, excuse me, by the time the clips drop. So with that in mind, I want y'all to keep those two things in mind. And what also he said was he spoke about the whole traveling piece. Now, this is where things come up to be debatable because Keita's saying that they had to pay for their own travel. He said, no, you're not paying for your own travel. I've rearranged the budget to where I put money for travel in your check. So previously, you were getting your check and I paid for everything for you to go. You didn't have to pay for nothing. You didn't have to book nothing. You just went on about your business and showed up and you got your check. He said after a while, it wasn't really making sense. It got inconvenient. He was having incongruencies when somebody said they wanted to stay here, fly here, ride here. And as a business person, you know what I'm saying? Even myself as a, potential entrepreneur with this whole thing, yeah, that would make sense, right? To go ahead and say, how about I just pay you a little bit extra in the check and you figure out how you're going to get there. So that part is on you. Now, I don't know if what he's saying is true on that part, but it makes a lot of sense. And I could also understand how somebody on Keita's side of things might not like that because she wants her money to be her money. And at one point didn't have to pay for it at all. And she was there from the jump. She was there when the tour first started. So whereas other people may be cool because they coming into that as the situation, they coming into that as the agreement. Okay, that's cool. But for somebody who didn't have to worry about that before, now having to worry about that, like, yay, I'm getting extra money on my. It's like finding out you got a job and you got to travel, and the whole time they pay for you to travel. Now all of a sudden you got to pay. They give you more, but you have to use that to travel. So how much more money are you actually really getting?
Yeah.
So I want y'all to keep all that in mind. That's why I said sometimes you got to listen to the enemy talk. Sometimes you got to listen to the bad guy. Sometimes y'all got to listen to the bad guy because one thing about bad guys like Ace, like Derek Jackson, like Yada, okay? One thing about guys like that is they use devil tactics. And the thing about devil tactics is the devil operates with the truth. He gives you just enough truth to be able to pull the wool over your eyes with the whole lie.
Exactly what I was saying earlier about how he played her because he agitated her ass all week and then got her right where she was going off. People like, bitch, you crazy. But he knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. And she absolutely said that. So she was like, they should have told her in writing. So she said she was working
Yes.
through her manager, who was her ex-boyfriend. And apparently that was an agreement that they made that wasn't discussed with her. So she didn't know about it until she received the NDA and was like, wait a fucking minute. And I guess my thing is like, so for instance, I work for the federal government. And no, you cannot ask me to travel on my dime. You want me to go travel for work? I have a company credit card. I am responsible for that credit card, like in name and social security number. If it don't get paid, that's on me. But the government is responsible for paying those expenses per me putting in my expense report. So you could have done something a little different, but you knew what the fuck you was doing because you're fucking off the money. But that's okay. Keep going.
And here's the other part of that. Like I said, this is why I understand why Keita has a particular beef. Because there's other people who came on and they check was they check, and that's all it was. Like I said, the young lady Paris from Dallas. She said she paid for nothing. She didn't pay for her flight. She didn't pay to eat while she was out there, whether it was at the venue where things was already paid for, or she went to eat outside the venue, at the hotel, wherever else she did. Outside of her wanting to buy clothes for herself or buy things for herself to take home, she paid for nothing.
Right.
So I can understand how these kind of things, and again, I don't know how much of that Keita knew, but even if you find that out, maybe not even specifically about her, but about other cast people, where here it is, yeah, you got a stipend added to your check to pay for stuff, but somebody else is paying for nothing and being entertainment like you are, and you were there before them. I could see how it piss you off, man.
Yeah, don't sit well with you.
I could see how it piss you off. I can.
Yeah.
I gotta be fair and I gotta be honest. So those things are important to what I'm about to say. I'm willing to believe that Ace is abusive. Physically abusive, that's not going over my head. I wouldn't put it past him. I wouldn't put it past him. Emotionally abusive, I wouldn't put it past him.
That I'm not putting past him at all.
Verbally abusive, I wouldn't put it past him because he's
That
good
I'm
with
not putting that.
words. Um, but kind of bringing in this Randy part because, like you said, we noticed she was there, she wasn't there. We had
And
seen
she
her
had
on
her
all
little
the
rant.
content.
She
We
had
had
her
seen her
little
on all the
rant.
content, and she took her shots back then, also alleging abuse.
But her rant was very low key though.
And it
It was
had to be
like,
because she was under NDA and she couldn't say anything.
and so that notice that's what Keita keeps talking about. He mad because she ain't signed that NDA, and he keep
Facts.
harping on some. We need to get this NDA signed. Why you trying to shut the fuck
Facts.
up?
Well, at this point, I would be trying to shut her up, even if half of it wasn't true. It's more than enough to damage things at this point.
Yeah.
Um, and even if it because that's the thing, right? When we see these cases and we see people pay people, they buy off their silence. We always say, well, if that's me, I'm a court, I'm gonna fight that tooth and nail because I know I didn't do it. But honestly, it's about how much you have to lose. Because if that person's lie is more convincing than your truth, and you don't have the ways to prove your truth, you could lose a lot more in the end because of a lie.
Right. Right.
So a lot of people will pay out just to get that person to shut up with the lies because people are
Mm-hmm.
buying into it. Again, this is not me saying Keita is lying. This is not me saying that. I'm just giving y'all the theoretic reason why some people will try to get you on an NDA at a certain point and why, even if Ace
Right.
was right in this case, he would do so. Just speaking hypothetically. Because I believe that most of what she said he did, just to be clear.
75%. I'm with
At,
it.
at,
Me
at the
too.
very least, I'm willing to believe it. Um, my problem is this. My problem is this. And I meant to drop this clip that I recorded earlier, and I'm gonna drop it tomorrow anyway. But one of my problems is this. Um, why is there an NDA? Um, Now, with the kind of business he does, it kind of makes sense because he's the only person behind it. You know what I'm saying? So whatever he lets slip or whatever he lets somebody else see, they could take it and go somewhere else with it. And now he's got to worry about a rival. It's like keeping the secret sauce secret.
Oh
Because
yeah.
NDAs don't just cover my foul shit. It covers my good shit too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Like the
saying?
government. We
So
have
right,
you
right.
non-compete agreements and NDAs. We have to sign some of
Yes.
them. Well, especially if you're a
Yes.
contractor, you definitely got to sign NDAs and non-compete agreements.
Yes. So I completely understand the need for an NDA. I completely understand it. I also completely understand why some people won't sign it.
Yeah.
Especially in this case where it's podcasting. I completely understand why somebody wouldn't sign it. But then again,
Yeah.
I understand why he has it. Again, because it's podcasting. Somebody could see something that didn't even go all the way out of pocket, but because of their interpretation of it, now they go on their podcast talking about how you do business.
Yeah. I mean, people like Beyonce requesting you to sign NDAs to attend parties.
Yes. Yes.
So, I
Yes.
mean, what are we talking about here? Like,
Let's just be
that's
honest.
it's like the standard now for most people doing
Once you
any
get
type
to a
of
certain
business
level
of
of
any type of
business,
fame and
yeah,
notoriety. It's almost like it's just
yeah,
expected.
yeah. It's CYA. The NDA is CYA. For those who don't know
Pretty
what
much.
CYA, cover your ass. Okay, you got to do it at this point. Um, so like I said, here's the part where I start sounding like the bad guy, right? Because if everything Keita is saying is true, like let's take this kitty part and put that to the side because that's personal. That's
Oh, the
completely
bullying part?
personal.
The
Yeah,
bullying
yeah, yeah.
part.
That's completely
Okay.
personal, except for the part where she alleges that Kitty manipulated everybody so that she could take Randy's spot. I want to speak on that part directly right here and now. I'm gonna call cap on that. Just because Randy, besides Mike the Poet, Randy would have the easiest spot to take. You wouldn't have to manipulate nobody to get Randy out of there. Because Randy, as much content as she helped create for that one, was by far the most difficult between her and Keita. By far. Go back and if you look at the clips, go back and check this clip where
Yeah.
she turned up on Trip. Trip God's favorite, everybody's favorite.
Not God's
Okay,
favorite.
okay. As far as tonight's
He
conversation is concerned, Trip
he
is God's
he
favorite.
he is top tier up here. They love him. He can't do no wrong.
He has been the GOAT of that show. Like
And
people love
is
Trill,
and
people love
is
Trill, people rock with Trill, but Trip,
yeah,
I was in
yeah.
the building when they announced that man's name.
Oh yeah, they went dumb crazy.
What? What? It might have well have been panties flying. It's dudes clapping for Trip. You heard me?
Because he was a real ass nigga. That's why. Like, and you knew he wasn't on that pandering bullshit.
And quite frankly, he's my favorite too. I'm going to keep it 1,000 out.
Yeah,
He's my
yeah.
favorite too on the show.
He definitely was
Not
my
even gonna
favorite.
lie to you. And
He
she
definitely was
turned
my
up
favorite.
on that guy.
Yeah, that
She
was kind
turned
of
up on
wild.
him. Out of
But
all the people that's been on that show saying some BS, she turned up on him. So that should let you know the kind of person that she is.
because Taya just said what I was thinking. She animated like Keita, and sometimes
She
I think
is.
those antics was kind of like played up for her.
I don't believe so. Because go
Mm-hmm.
ahead and watch her on her new show. Go
Mm-hmm.
ahead and watch her on her new show. She's the same. She it's the same type of energy. I don't think it was played up. I think she was genuinely upset. And I'm gonna try to see if I could explain this to make it make sense.
Make it make sense for the co-host.
You ever been upset with somebody who ain't shit versus upset with somebody that you believed in? The energy be different with the person you believed in. That's the person you mad at. The person who ain't shit. Here he go again. The person who you believed in. Nigga, I can't believe you did so forth and so on. And that's what that energy was when she was mad with Trip versus her talking to a Ha Ha Davis versus her talking to Rico Hundo
Or
versus her
Richie,
talking to Richie
because she
versus
done
her
went off
talking
on
to
Richie.
well, yeah, Richie an easy target. I ain't gonna lie.
He's a clown though. He's all clown antics. So
But
yeah,
that's what I'm
sure.
saying. He an easy target. He gonna frustrate him by being funny. Mr.
Exactly.
Let Go. I've never seen her stand up on her chair on Mr. Let Go, and he's annoying. I am not a fan of the bull.
She stood up on a chair on Trip. Let's see, because I ain't see the go off for that.
Okay. I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna
Must
make sure that people
must
see these
must
things
do must do because I
because
did not see
all
that.
it was him saying I didn't say what she said. I said. She said you said this. He said no, I didn't. She rose up out her seat. Nigga, yes, the fuck you did. When you ever see her talk to anybody else like that?
You know what? I think I do
Right,
remember that now. I think I do because
right.
I was like,
And to Tripp's credit, he
this
did what a
fucking
real
motherfucker.
man. He did what a real man did and didn't match the energy. And he just looked at her sideways and said, somebody play back the tape. Run the tape back.
I remember this now. I do. I do. I do. I do. I do. I do. Okay.
And of
Yeah, I
course,
do.
with editing, they show you back that he was indeed correct and he did not say what she thought he said. So, just to give you that, Randy, I do not fuck with Randy personally. I don't.
A lot of people
Because she is
did.
also duplicitous. She is also duplicitous. Keita might be manic because she has mental illness. Randy downright duplicitous.
Yeah, no.
Because all that energy that you see, and this is why you saying playing things up kind of matters. Because all that energy that you see on her show, I forgot the name of it. I'm not trying to be dismissive. It's ass. I could say that. It is ass. And tonight's conversation,
I'm gonna look it up just to be fair.
then go back and look on her page and hear how she talks about life and how she talks about men in particular. Totally different volume, completely different energy. She
Wow.
sounds like a married woman on her page, and she sounds like a single woman on tonight's conversation and on her show.
So the name of her pod, to be fair, is Let's Rant About It.
Okay, let's rant about it. To me,
Mhm.
it's ass. Y'all check it out and see what y'all think. By all means, I'm not telling y'all not to watch it. Tyra said she saw the clip. Yeah. So of all people you turn up on him, right?
Yeah.
She said all these people are fake. I don't think they're all fake. I don't think they're all fake. I think some of these
I
people
don't.
are who they are on and off
I,
camera.
I think
Some
Trip is
people.
who he is in real life and on camera. I think Richie is who he is in real life on
I think so
camera.
too.
I think Keita is who she is in real life and on camera.
Mike Bourne
Um,
ass, he definitely is.
I'm about to say he definitely is a lame. And that
He
can I
definitely
segue?
is.
This
Go
shit was
ahead.
funny when motherfucking Keita was asked a question by Ace, and it was about a lame nigga still being a lame nigga and having money. And when Keita answered the question and looked at him and was like, "Cause yeah, nigga, you a lame nigga with money." I about died. How about that? She been had beef with him, and she just kept it
Yeah,
cute for the longest time.
for sure. For
But
sure.
I
And she
wonder
should.
about Trip. I'm gonna tell you who Iffy. Dr. Shine Bryan probably is who she is on camera, off camera.
Iffy.
But
Iffy.
I'm gonna tell you who always seemed iffy to me, even though I really do like them, but they seem iffy to me. Kitty and Trill.
Okay. Kitty,
I'm
I
sorry.
could believe to a certain extent might not be who she is. I could believe that. I could believe
And
she
it's
could be
funny
two
because
different people.
the beef that Keita got with her is, oh, what y'all seen in that clip where she was talking about what the whole shit she be on? He said that's how that bitch really talk. All that soft, cause when I'm she was like, no, that bitch be cussing and all kind of. I was like, Lord Jesus, and I feel like Trill is a little duplicitous as well. I feel like he had two personalities. Like
He a slick
you
boy, so you do gotta kind of watch him.
and
You see the slick on him. You see the oil on him.
you
He a slick
do,
nigga. You
you
see the oil on him.
do,
You see the
you
oil on him. I
do,
ain't
and
gonna
I
lie
be
to you.
like,
He might not be greasy, but he definitely slick.
no, for sure. And I'm like, so them kind of got me
He
like,
definitely slick.
I don't know, but carry
And I'm
on,
gonna say
carry on.
this real quick about the Kitty thing. Outside of the only thing I think important is her case is if she's actually cheating on her husband. Her having been a hoe, her being into freaky type stuff, her being into certain things.
Yeah.
I don't think none of that
None
matters,
of that
especially if she's
matters.
doing that with
None
her
of that.
husband. I think it's completely irrelevant.
But in
But
all fairness, I think the clip was shown to prove to people that all that shit you see today is not who she really is. And even though
I don't
people
think
can
it says
change,
that, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think it says
I,
that.
I think what she's saying is although people can change, don't be fooled. Like a lot of that shit still in the background. Because what she was trying to say is, yeah, she get on camera and she talk real soft and she talk real well and speaks, highly of, certain things and people and, God this and God that. And she was like, but
Hmm.
at the end of the day, she's still back there on some other shit. That's what Keita was trying to say.
I get it. She's trying to say she fake. Like that's really what she's doing. She's trying to say
Pretty
she fake.
much.
That she not
Pretty much.
who she want people to think she is. But I
Pretty
personally
much.
think again, I personally think it's nothing wrong with presenting yourself as, calm, demure, peaceful,
Not
organized,
demure.
using your I had to do that. You see, I like that. You like how I did that? You like how I did that? You like how I did that? I brought the
Please
mirror back.
hashtag.
We leaving it in 2024, but I just had to sneak that in there. We leaving it in
Please
2024.
hashtag. Bring it
But I
back
had to
to
sneak
mirror.
I had to sneak that one in right quick. You know what I mean?
I
Shout out to
like
the
it. I like
dead.
it.
Rest in peace.
Chef kiss.
Um, but I think nothing is wrong with that for the format in which you want to present and what it is you're trying to do. Specifically, since you are a licensed counselor, okay, or slash therapist,
Is
because she
she?
was also a sex therapist, according to what I've seen from other people and what I've read with other people saying that she's a licensed sex therapist when she was talking all that horny shit. Her first way in was talking about that kind of stuff because she was
Okay.
a sex therapist. So being a sex therapist and being a relationship therapist is not a far jump. It's not a huge jump in terms of certification or in terms of being able to package your product. It's not really a far jump.
I don't know. I
It's
think I think we might need
it's
to
not a
we
far
might
jump
need to assess that with a friend of the pod and ask her since she's going to school for
for sure, for
that.
sure,
Because
for sure, for
I
sure.
don't. That's like me saying that my therapist can also turn around and be a sex therapist, and vice
No,
versa.
no, 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 no,
I
no.
don't.
That's so. Let me clarify what I mean by that. When I
Okay.
say it's not a far jump, I don't mean the subject matter. I don't mean the skill level or what it takes. What I'm saying is And that's why I said it depends on how you're packaging it. Because if you're a sex therapist and you're talking about people using sex therapy to bring people together, then having conversations about relationship therapy, bringing people together is not the furthest stretch. If you understand what I'm
Okay.
saying,
I do.
you know what I'm saying? You can combine those two lanes.
Yeah, I want
Kane,
you to
at this
understand.
point in time, we are talking about tonight's conversation. Mimi gave her side earlier, and you missed it. She was dropping some bars. So I'm about to be the bad guy on this when I say that I understand. I understand why Keita feels the way she feels. Um, I
Fair.
understand that, like how you said, you feel like not to call it a rant because you don't want to sound dismissive of what it is she's doing. Um, I get that important part too. Um, and as far as getting your money, I understand being willing to step on toes and look a little crazy about getting your money.
Listen,
I
don't play with
get
my
it.
coins.
I completely get it. For sure, for sure. But let me tell you what I don't like here and why I'm cool off Keita.
Oh, don't do it.
I'm cool off Keita because I have this I feel like I might have not coined this phrase, but I heard it somewhere and it stuck with me ever since. You was in on the heist. You just mad because you don't like your cut.
Ooh.
I'm gonna
Okay.
repeat it. You was in on the heist. You just
Okay.
mad because you don't like your cut. That goes for people right now. These Latinos being deported by ICE who voted for Trump. You was in on the heist. You just mad you don't like your cut. People who want the DEI out of here and didn't realize that it applied to white women, veterans, seniors,
But I said earlier,
and LGBTQ. You was in on the heist. You just mad because you don't like your cut.
shrug
I'm gonna tell
emoji.
y'all how this. I'm gonna tell y'all how this relates to Keith. Let's just say, let's just say that everything she said is true. Not the 75% I believe. Let's say
Yeah.
every single thing she said about Ace is true. She's been there for no less than 8 years. No less.
Damn, it has been a while, right?
No less. She was there before they actually got on the road. When they were still on set, she was there.
Yeah. Because I remember when they
So,
rolled out the card game and like she was one of the
yes,
people at the table answer the question. Because I remember when Super was
yes,
there with her
yes,
fiance, and I was
yes,
like, what the fuck is
yes,
this all about? And the next thing you know, boom, tonight's conversation is going on the road.
yes, yes, yes. So she's tonight's conversation OG.
Yeah.
Honestly,
She's
he
original
owed.
gangster.
I hope she gets all the money that she's owed because she's one of the people that he could not have done this without.
For sure.
I'm gonna give her flowers as far as that's concerned. She's meant a lot. Before he was able to get all these different women to stick around and stay on, she was one of them ones. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna give her flowers while also burying her with them. Um, let's say everything she said about him is true. Cheater, abuser, also physical abuser, disrespectful, disloyal, thief. All these things is true. I want to go back to what she said in maybe episode number 3, where she mentions Rico Hundo coming on the show, helping him run the show, and leaving the show early. She also mentioned that there was some kind of discrepancy between the two where allegedly Rico said, I'm finna beat your ass if you talk to me like that again.
Yeah, they was in his house. They was at Ace house.
Mm-hmm.
He was because she was trying to convey that he don't know how to talk to people and he disrespectful. And
Right,
basically, Rico said, "Who the fuck you talking to? I will beat your ass in your own house."
right. So she said that she wanted Rico to hit him. At that point in time, she wanted Rico to hit him. That's in season 1, y'all. This took place
She
in
did say
season 1.
that. She did say that.
You mean to tell me that from season 1 of you knowing something's not right here. This man being disrespectful. You wanted him to get his shit cracked. That you stayed on this tour 7 more years. Not even counting seasons, because I don't know how they count their seasons. I put my seasons in my episodes so people can follow along, take the journey with us. He don't put that on his. Because they doing seasons by seasons, winter, spring, fall, summer.
Yeah, I feel like they do like a
so they getting
run.
3 seasons. Yeah, they getting close to 3 seasons in 1 year. They getting close to 2, 3 seasons in 1 year. So she's been there for 8 years. So let's just at least say it's 2 seasons per year. So she's been there for what would constitute as 16 seasons at the least. Right? And you knew something wasn't right from the top. Somewhere along the line, because she didn't give proper chronological order, you see this man is boning fans. You see this man is boning his manager. And placed you in a position where his girlfriend / manager came and asked, well, I see you talking about those 2 gentlemen being faithful, but what about my man? You know him. Isn't he faithful? And you lie on his behalf. That was probably, let's again, somewhere season 5, right? Mm-hmm. Pretty early in the game. Here it is now. Fast forward. Randy gone. Tripp is leaving. All these other people are leaving. You got fired. You didn't leave. You got fired. You even said that the reason you got fired is because Kitty turned on you. When you was like, we need to talk to this man about our money, Kitty went to him and played him against you. And that's why you got fired.
I didn't know
Her
that.
words. Her words.
I missed that.
Why did you have to get fired, Keita? Yeah, why didn't you leave? And it's not like, oh, you being abused, why didn't you leave? Because I understand that people stay in abusive situations, right? There we go. There we go, Kane. Yes.
I'm about to say, he literally answered the question.
Yes.
Because the money exactly was moneying.
Because
that's why.
And how many times in all of these rants, and go back and watch her live, and she says this one thing throughout all of them. I just want to get my money. As long as I was getting paid. She says it multiple times.
She does.
As long as I was getting paid. So don't come here now. Don't come here now trying to make this man a monster. And it didn't matter that he was a monster as long as you were getting paid. You got a price. You got a price. That would be like me going about my job, right? My job fires me, and now I want to expose everything they did. Everything they do wrong. All the ways they harm me.
I literally all the ways they harm me.
Oh, my job, you think they helping people, but they really doing this, and they really doing that, and they really doing this, and this, and this, and this, and that. And I've been there for 16 years, and I didn't see it all. Yet my ass didn't feel, I didn't feel the need to say nothing for 16 years. Yeah. It's only now because I'm not getting my money. Now because I got to find a new job. I got to find a new hustle. Now I'm inconvenienced, so now y'all going to get it all.
Yeah.
You know what they call that person in the streets? A snitch, a rat. See, she's coming out like a truth teller, right? Like a fight. She says she's fighting for the victims. She's not a victim, but she's showing victims. This is the kind of journey of a victim. She said that.
I'm gonna tell you why I think she's trying to play that, right? Because you think about it. Tripp, Randy, Richie, and a couple other people. They've all been victimized by him the same way, but they just didn't want to speak out. Now,
I gotta stop you. I gotta stop you there. Tripp said his money was cool. Tripp said he don't owe him money. Tripp said he don't let people play about his money. But he saw how things was going.
Yeah, I'm about to say he seems like the type of nigga, you're not about to play with me like this. Like
he's right. He said you about to try to play with my money, so I'm out.
Right. So my thing is, it's like all of them was probably getting there while the getting was good, and so they was just like, whatever, we getting paid. But then on the back end, it was like, oh, all right, we might have to start making an exit plan. And it seemed like Tripp was the only one that made an exit plan, and the rest of these
He
motherfuckers
wasn't
was
the only
still
one
on
because
some.
Randy certainly had one. So Randy certainly was developing. May not have had it yet,
Yeah,
but she was certainly developing her exit plan by the time she got canned. She was already stepping up.
yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. You with me, Kane? You with me, Kane? You with me, Kane? Oh, I'm only getting 10%. Oh, hell no. Yeah, yeah. Let me tell you the tea. Weren't you in on the heist? I was just trying to get this money. Yes, yes, yes. Anybody watch that scene? Watch The Dark Knight, the Batman movie with Joker in it? How was all of them in on it? And he started
Yep.
picking them off so he could keep the money to himself. Ace is the person who
Yep.
picks everybody off so he could keep the money to himself. But
And it's
did
like
you
she
feel
knew
bad?
that.
But
She
but
saw
did you
that.
feel bad? But did you feel bad for any of the people that the Joker killed? No. You know why? Because they was in on the heist.
Yeah.
You
And they
don't
playing.
feel bad about them because they was in on the heist. They was there to hurt people. They was there to steal. They as long as they what she say, as long as I get my money, I need my money
Yeah.
on. I need
Pay
my money
me
on.
in dubs. Run it.
So that's why I'm off on Shorty.
Yeah.
Because I could understand a woman being abused and not talking about her abuse until she's maybe 7, 8, 9, 10 years removed from her abuser because of all the scars that it left, all the things that it did. I can understand women who take that long to leave a marriage because they don't have no bread without that man.
Right.
So they got to really build and scheme and make that thing happen. But see, again, here's the thing. And if Keita had left, I'd feel completely different. If she had quit, I'd feel completely different.
True.
She got fired.
But
So
she
then that
got
begs the
fired
question.
because you
That
said
begs the
Kitty went.
question. She said Keita, yeah, Kitty went um
But
to
what did Kitty
Ace.
go and tell Ace? Like, hey, she about to try to run a piece
According
of
to
money?
Keita, in one of her episodes, I can't remember which one it is, she said that she noticed the money was funny. So she went to talk to Kitty and other people to say, hey, y'all notice the money not making sense? And we're going to need to talk to this man about getting our money.
Mm.
So instead of Kitty being with the alliance, she saw the opportunity to get Keita out the way by going and telling Ace, hey, 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 look, they saying you're not paying people, bro. You
Oh
gonna let that slide?
wow. Oh wow. Okay.
That's what she's oh man, you missed the talk about Dank. We started the show off with that. That was actually the first topic that we tackled, bro. That was the first topic that we
Oh.
tackled. So
Lo
feel free to go
siento.
back and watch it. Feel free to go back and watch it after this. After it processes and all that good stuff. Um, but yeah, we did get into that. I wish you could have got on earlier, bro. Um, but then it begs the question, right? If she had to get fired before all of this came out, what if she didn't get fired? You think we would have got all this if she didn't get fired? You think she'd have left?
Part of me want
No.
to say eventually.
I'm
Part
gonna
of me
say
wants to
no.
say
Eventually,
eventually.
yes. Eventually, yes. Eventually, she'd have left.
Part of me wants to
Absolutely,
say eventually.
absolutely, absolutely. But it wouldn't have been now,
Yeah, and I don't think it would have been this as she
and
likes
it
to
wouldn't
say,
have looked like
manic.
this.
It wouldn't have been this manic, I don't think.
It wouldn't have
I
looked
don't
like
think.
this
Yeah.
if all her money was right. In fact, she even said, "All this is happening because he didn't pay me.
Yeah, she said that. She said
I'm
that.
doing all of this because he's playing with me and he
Right.
didn't pay me."
She definitely said that.
So then, even if he fired you and he gave you all your money, would we
She
know that
wouldn't
he's a
say that.
monster? Would you be fighting for the people that he also victimized?
Mm.
People don't matter to you, girl, including those that was your friend. If it takes me not getting my money to stand up for my bros, they not my bros.
They're pawn on my chess game, pretty
If
much.
it took, if something happened with Life Be Life, and I see somebody sneaking you on the back end of a deal, and I'm getting all my money, but I don't say nothing until they start shorting me, I'm not your bro.
That's facts.
So that's why I said, say what y'all want, but I'm off Shorty because she a fraud too. She's a fraud too because she kicking it like she's this. Again, she's saying she's not a victim, but she's kicking it like she a freedom fighter, like she going up against the oppression that is Ace metaphor and exposing him. And I'm gonna drop this clip tomorrow, so I feel like I'm kind of burning my bridge by saying this now, but I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it now anyway. Watch these people who expose people.
Oh man, that's facts.
Watch these people who expose people too. And I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. People who need to expose people, I want y'all to have the courage. I want y'all to have the bravery to do so because people who need to be exposed need to be exposed.
Yeah.
Right. And I get that people are going to rifle through your history, try to find every skeleton in the closet to discredit you and to make you look like you're a liar and you're not worth listening to. I get it. And that is not what I'm doing, Nikita. I'm just making the math. I'm just looking at the math and I'm looking at what is common sense to me because of what she is saying.
Yeah. No, that's
Again, I
fair.
mentioned she get a contract per season. So how many seasons he had to burn you before you decided enough was enough? Because you got a contract per season now. I have to
I
bring
don't
that back
think
into focus.
I don't think it was until this
Because
recent
she
season.
said for a while, she said for the most part, the money was right. So at some
Yeah.
part, the money stopped being right. And then it got really wrong with the whole situation with her ex that you mentioned earlier, where
Yeah.
allegedly her Ace and her ex had some kind of
Made a little backdoor
backroom
deal. Yeah.
deal, you know what I'm saying, or whatever
Yeah.
and whatnot. So look at these people who's exposing people. And I want to kind of not go too far off, but I want to kind of pivot this back to what's happening with Dwight Howard and his baby mom, one of his baby moms.
Oh, what's
Royce, I
happening
think
with
her name
that?
is. So
Oh,
she
he not
was
having
on
issues with
cam.
her.
Well, she been wanting to spark his name up. You want to talk
For
about NDAs? He
sure.
had her on the NDA for the longest. Back when she was on Basketball Wives, he had her on a
Oh, for
gag order.
sure. And he needed to have her on one too, because she's a
So,
talker.
so now, right. So now that that's not the case, like you said, bro, like you said, money, money, money,
Yeah.
money. Um, but um, looking at her situation, right? She's on Cam Newton's show talking about things that this
Oh shit.
man was doing in bed with other men while she used to
Oh
be dating
Lord.
this guy.
No.
You know what I'm saying? While she used to be dating this guy. So you mean to tell me you were dating a man who you knew laid up with other men and was moaning and sweating?
Mm-mm.
You
And now you
why are
want to
you
talk
even
about it.
telling this now?
Yeah.
Why it's literally no point to tell him this now outside of to defame him. Now you saying that he was physically abusive. So if he was and you telling that now, I completely understand.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's
Very
completely
weird.
different because he did
Yes, it
something
is.
directly to harm you and you need to get that out. All
Yeah.
right. But the stuff about him and dudes,
Crazy.
after you done tried to allege that he was, 6'10" bottom, um,
Not a 6'10" bottom.
that's that got nothing to do with nothing. That got
At
nothing to
this
do with
point,
nothing.
nothing
If
at
you want to talk
all.
about the fact
Yeah.
that he's a bad father, talk about that because that matters. But all that sexual stuff that you're trying to put out while you was on Cam Newton podcast,
Yeah. I ain't
you
even
gotta
seen
watch
it.
the people who's exposing people, y'all.
It's
Sometimes you
always a
got to
motive
pay
behind shit
attention
like that.
because some of them people they
It's
on
always a
game
motive
too.
behind shit like that. Always.
They on game too. I mean, sometimes it's just that you're trying to get it out. You've had to carry that burden for all this time. Now you're no longer obligated to bear it, so you got to get it off your chest, and it's going to spill
Yeah.
out. I completely understand that, yo, and I respect that. But it's a difference between that, what Royce. Whatever her last name is doing, I'm not gonna pretend like I know her last name.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
don't
say it's
even. I
Reed.
don't
Use it
either.
as a placeholder. Dwight baby
I think
mom.
that's correct. I think that's correct.
Um, what she's doing is there between her and what her is doing and what Keita is doing. And I'm sorry, I know Keita is some folks' favorites. I know folks is loving the tea. I know folks is enjoying the animated reports. Some people do, even though people like me and Taya and Mish, it wore thin on us. I haven't watched since her fourth episode simply because, like I said, after getting perspective from other people who were on the show, and then after looking at the larger scope, um, nah, Keita, nah, Keita, you also are not who you want us to think you are. Kane mentioned something in the in the chat that I want to go ahead and now I'm going to have to read this because all of it is not going to show up on screen. But let's hear Kane's point of view. Can I also say this? I'm simplifying, by the way. If I had 2 million followers and Ace had a million, when I bring my 2 million followers to Ace from to help me build more followers, why wouldn't Ace help me while helping himself? I don't know if y'all caught that clip about how she felt that Ace was stealing her followers. Maybe
I
not.
did.
Yeah. I saw her say that she was
I never
using
liked her.
his her followers to boost his brand, which, like you said, why wouldn't I?
I mean, she said he was doing that to everybody, and it would. So this is what
Yeah.
I was okay.
And
So
again,
it
why
goes back to
wouldn't
what
I?
I was saying. What she tried to say is when I said they would cycle people out. So what she was trying to say is he would get the followers of the people who joined the pod and their platform, and then
Mm-hmm.
once they were no longer of use to him,
Mm-hmm.
I got your followers. I don't need you. You're not as popular. I got somebody better. You're out of here. That's what she
Let
was
me
trying
ask
to
you.
say.
She said that. She did say that. But let me ask you seriously, as fellow content creator, as my partner in this thing, is that wrong? Like let's keep it a thought, right? Started out with two kings, me and Ace. Brought you along. If you had a following, I had a following. Ace had a following. You come along, you bring your following. You're more popping than Ace. And let's just say I was in charge of everything solely. Am I wrong to use you to replace Ace and pivot to Life Be Life? Am I actually wrong? As long as I pay Ace, mind you, as long as I pay Ace his cut,
Right.
am I wrong to move him out and move you in? Or is that just business strategy?
I mean, for most people, it's just
Because
business
you can't
strategy.
keep everybody in the roster. And that's one thing that he said in his live that, like I said, it makes sense. He can't
Yeah.
afford to retain everybody. No matter
Yeah.
how
He
much
did
money
say
he's
that.
making, he can't pay everybody well enough to retain everybody. So
Yeah.
if you have to let go of people, are you going to let go of the more popular person because they came there later out of loyalty for somebody who was there before? No,
No.
not if you smart, not if you a real business person.
Yeah. I
It
mean,
don't even matter if that's your friend and this is just somebody that you making business with. Can't tie friendship and business together on that end.
it's all business, baby, and I think people
It
need to
got to be
understand
all
that.
business, never personal. Hey, look, player, I only got 5 slots on this team. I'm picking a basketball team. I only got 4 more slots besides me. Me and you, we sit the sandbox, but I could keep you, or I could
Yeah.
play Steph Curry. Brother, brother, you got to. I'm getting Steph Curry and KD.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep them. I'm gonna get rid. I'm gonna not take one of them on because you. It
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense. So even with her saying that and me believing it, I don't even see where that's wrong at. And the fact that she's trying to make it seem like it's wrong is all the more to my point.
Yeah, I think the reason why she was trying to say that was wrong, it was because she's trying to make it seem like people are disposable to him.
And
Like,
they are.
yeah, I mean, but the way we're explaining it now is understandable, right? Because we're in the business of this. But for the regular folks out there, that seemed fucked up.
They should know better. They got jobs because you are.
No.
Because if you go to a job and somebody's better at your job than you, they will get your bread.
Nah, people really be backing off loyalty. Like that's a thing for a lot of people. Like I've been here. I've been 10 toes down. Like you just gonna replace me because somebody can type
And,
faster
and,
than me? It be that type shit. You really gonna
and that
replace
be
me
the
because somebody
problem.
willing to stay extra 2 hours and they not taking an hour lunch and taking 30 minutes? But I've been here forever with the bullshit.
And that be the problem. And that be why you be seeing these situations where some friend killed their old friend because they upset that they couldn't go, that everybody can't go and they was part of the people who couldn't go. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Where you see it dramatized on TV shows 1,000 times. You know, that person who helped you build the business, it resents you because your business went all the way up here and you didn't drag them with you.
What G
You
Money
know, we
say?
we we seen it with Dame, we seen it with Dame and Jay. Okay. At some point in time, Dame was not the guy to keep going if Jay wanted to go where he wanted to get to. He wasn't the guy to bring with him.
Nope. Nope. That's why
You know
Nino
what I'm
killed G
saying?
Money.
Okay, okay. Like let's keep it a stack. Let's keep
Yeah.
it a stack. If we just gonna talk about just the business aspect about it, no, it don't feel good. No, it doesn't
Nah.
sound good. But at the end of the day, you could loyalty in business can only go but so far.
Yeah.
Now, there's provisions you can make out of loyalty, right? My 2 mil plus
I
his mil is
mean,
3 mil. How you mad? I mean, I could get being you right, but I could get and I could get being mad initially. I could get the emotions coming into
yeah.
play initially. You know what I'm saying? But to make it sound like he's wrong for upgrading when he has the option, you're not thinking like a businesswoman, Keita. You're not.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. If you want to keep friendship ahead of business, you're entitled to do that. If that's what you want to
Yeah.
do, you just know that you're capping yourself off at a certain point.
Yeah.
And he's not a person who wants to cap himself off.
Right. And
He
people
wants to
gotta
go as
understand
far as he
it.
can take this. And you
It's
gotta, and we say it all the time, KYP, know your personnel. That includes your bosses. That
yep.
includes your bosses.
I be telling people
If
all the
if
time.
environmental safety matters to you,
Yeah.
and your boss is one of them enemies from Captain Planet, he's
Not Captain Planet.
then you got to decide how much longer you want to work at this job while he's poisoning and destroying the ozone layer, while he's poisoning lakes.
Yeah.
You got to decide how much your ethics and your morals matter to
I
you.
mean, yeah. You gotta make that decision at some point.
And if a check matters more, that says more about you than it says about them.
Yeah.
It actually doesn't put y'all too far of a distance. There's a distance because Ace is on some shit, but
I was literally gonna say like it not
there's
making
a
you look no more
distance.
better than him, but
There we go. It's not on the same. I'm not gonna put Keto on Ace level. I'm not gonna do that to Shorty.
yeah.
Not gonna do
No,
that.
she ain't that bad. She ain't that bad. But
But she ain't that
when you
much better
play
in
when you
my
play when you
eyes,
place money over your morals, people do start to look at you differently.
as they should,
Yeah, so I get
as
it.
they should.
Yeah, I don't think you're the bad guy on this one. I think you made valid
So,
point. Is what it was. I think you just
so
people don't want to hear the obvious. Is what it is.
no, they're not gonna want to hear it. They're not gonna want to hear it, and it's gonna come
Yeah,
out. You know, for the some people, it's gonna come out as victim blame. All the stuff that she foretold would happen when she came out to tell her truth. But
yeah.
the fact is, the one thing she didn't count on is people like me who can see that she's been done wrong, that she should go
But
get her bread, and
but
that telling the story isn't wrong. It's
yeah,
just the energy that you have behind this and the way that you're putting yourself in this story.
yeah.
I'm gonna go back and quote again what she said when she talked about this story about lying to his girlfriend slash manager about
Yeah,
him
see,
being faithful.
I Lord Jesus, I
When
missed
she
that
said
one.
she made that choice, she likened it to the 9 to 5ers. And she said, if you at an office party and your boss's wife or girlfriend comes up to you and asks, is he faithful? Are you going to risk your job by telling the truth? No, you're going to lie. And what she said after
Mm,
that was, I might be wrong. And I'm like, see, there you go. There you go. There you go right there. There you go right there. That's what actually kind of shifted my mind, the gear in my mind, because she
I can
said,
understand
I
why.
might be wrong. And it's like, why didn't you just say you was wrong? Why you couldn't just admit that you was flat out wrong, that what you did was wrong, but you made that choice because you need to pay your bills, because you need to provide for your
Yeah.
family.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would have
One of my
respected
favorite
that.
songs is Freeways Eat What We Do. Even though what we do
What
is
we do
wrong.
is
And they talk
wrong.
about doing a whole bunch of bad shit, illegal
Yeah.
shit,
So the block is hot. Yep, for sure.
but they doing it for a purpose. And at the end of the day, the purpose
Yeah.
outweighs the ethics.
Yeah.
They are willing to be the bad guys if it means that they stomach kids not growling and the heat not working and the sneaks not leaning. Okay. So then, Keita, that's the type time you need to be on. That's the
Yeah.
time you need to be on. I did some stuff that wasn't shit, but at the end of the day, I decided to be on that road because I needed this money. I was making so much money, I couldn't just go back to doing radio. Like I could have because they would have accepted me, but I started making this much amount of money. And how could I go from making this much amount of money to this much amount of money?
Yeah,
Like
she only spoke on
logistically, it
that
just don't
because
work.
old boy came in her inbox talking to her crazy. I don't think she would have spoke on that otherwise. Honestly, I don't think she
Probably.
would have spoke on like working a radio show in Houston, which she said she loved. She said she
Yeah, she
loved it.
did.
She said it was the best job I had, but it was the money. So you know what? You make point. Like
You got
it
a
really became
price.
about the money. Yeah,
You got a price.
you was priced out, shawty. Like you became a prostitute. Did this change
So
the game?
goes back to what I said. Baby, you was in on the heist. You just mad because you ain't
Yeah.
like your cut.
Damn. I hate when you be coming with it. And I can't dispute it.
Um, damn. I done rap for a long time. We done went over
It's all
longer than
good.
probably any of our other videos. But you know what I'm saying? I had to say it. It had to be said.
Yeah.
It had to
Yeah.
be said. He said she's to me, she is just messy.
Messy. Yeah, he just said that
She
about three
certainly
times. He
is
mean
messy.
that. He mean that shit because he just said it 3 times. No,
She is
no
messy and
shade.
she don't care about
But
being messy. She don't care about being messy.
but you know what? That's why I don't even know if it's messy. I think she just don't give a fuck.
Um, I mean, I think that the mental illness does come into play, and I don't mean that to
That's
put
why I
her
don't think it's
down. I
messy.
don't I don't
I
mean
don't
it.
either.
I think that I do believe that he has triggered that on purpose, so that he could
Hmm.
use it against her. I believe her when she says that
For sure, I
because this
do.
man is a master manipulator. So I
Yeah.
100% believe her when she says that, and but I do think that, and this is just me, and I know a lot of people don't agree with me. I believe that your core of who you are and your core beliefs, you have to have that at your center. Like I know people love to get back. I know people love, getting the lick back, and people put that over everything. So crashing
Yeah.
out over everything. Um,
Yeah. The crash
and
outs
I
be
think
real.
crash out. I think you only crash out when you need to. I think you only crash out when it serves you. And I think that this crash out ain't going to serve at the end of the day. I don't think it's
Yeah.
going to serve her the way she thinks it did. I don't.
Agreed.
I don't. What y'all say? She thinks she ate. I don't think. I don't think she gonna have a full belly at the end of this.
You thought you ate, bitch. Mm-mm.
I think you still gonna be hungry at the end of this, baby. I
I
ain't gonna
hope
lie to
not.
you,
I
especially
hope
because
not.
you went on that man line talking about $500,000. Let me tell you, I don't believe that man owe you $500,000, shorty. I don't.
Mm,
I don't. That's a considerable amount of pay. That's a considerable amount of pay. I don't
yeah,
think that man owe you
I would
500,000.
need to see the logs.
We
I would
talking
need
about
the
half a
books.
million, baby. We talking about half a million,
I would need to see the
and
logs.
that's
I
just for
need the
you.
books.
Just for
Yeah.
you. Nah, baby. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I don't believe it. Nah, I believe
Yeah.
you would have had to turn up on him way before now.
Yeah, because I looked at the schedule and they run about a 4 to 5 month cycle because looking at this schedule,
Mm-hmm.
it's weird compared to the other schedules. It looks very compressed. Like it's not a lot of shows. And it's like they got a few in January, a few in February, March, a few in April, and then it's not anything till they got like a show or two in June. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like
Mm-hmm.
more liver and more uncut. And I'm like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? So,
He
oh,
said, I think she messed up when talking about Kitty. I don't think that's really going to mean anything when it's all said and done.
I don't think
That was
so either.
personal. That was mainly
Yeah,
personal.
that was a jab. That she just wanted to
And
expose her a little bit. That's all that was.
yeah, she felt that that was a friend, and then she felt betrayed by a friend, allegedly. So she wanted to make sure that while she was airing out her grievances with Ace, that she took the time to take a shot at Kitty too, because her whole thing is like, I'm exposing, so I'm gonna expose her too. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? Um, and I partially wonder if if her and Randy never made it back good, will we be hearing about Randy too? But that's just
They
my
had
own
beef.
personal. Oh yeah, they had fell out at some
I
point.
didn't know they had beef.
Yeah, I didn't know it for a while either until this whole thing came about, and then that kind of came out, and different
Oh
people had said
wow.
that them two did have an issue for a short time.
Had no
Um,
clue.
but I blame Randy. Whatever the issue was, it was Randy's fault. Um, whatever the issue was, it was Randy's fault.
Lord Jesus,
100%.
Randy can't win.
And Randy, somebody need to tell Randy to shut the fuck up. You already got
Your
your
cut.
platform going. You said that you didn't need this bread because of what you and your husband got going on. So you don't need this bread like he didn't need this bread. It was never your main source. Um, you said when you first made your comment or your announcement of being off tonight's conversation that you were just going to let the lawyers handle it, and
She
you
did.
was going to do the thing with cousins and all that type stuff. Stay over
Yeah.
there. You don't need to get involved in this. You really not helping Keita. You hurting
Yeah.
you because you sound and look like a bitter turkey.
Mm.
Because you signed an NDA, so there's still things you can't even talk about.
Yeah.
You just look like you just look sore in this situation. So at least wait till your NDA is up before you start trying to give up tape. Meanwhile, do what you're doing over here. Fix your podcast crew because it's ass. Like you do
Yeah.
not know how to put together a cast the way Ace does. For
I
all his
mean,
flaws, he knows what he's doing. And
yeah.
Randy, you do not. Your
Yeah.
cast is dead. It is you, it is Anton, and your homegirl with
Damn,
red hair, and everybody
Mm.
else is just filler.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even know the girl with red hair name. She's not particularly interesting. She's just the only person who talks as much as y'all two. So I could
Mm.
remember her.
Yeah, I haven't even
But
checked it out.
you're going to be bored to tears. I promise you. You're not going to be moved.
I mean, I don't watch
Check
a
it out.
podcast or two that's boring, so I guess I could go finesse my way
Yeah,
on over
as
there.
I always say, check it out for yourself. Her podcast is talk. It's called Let's Rant About It. Y'all go ahead and check that out for yourself. No, I'm not putting it up on the screen because she ain't paying me no bread. Um,
I shouldn't even name drop, but just because I had to,
but just yeah, just for the sake of painting the bigger
Yeah.
picture, I'm
Yeah.
throwing it out there. We've been on here long enough to where we're not even gonna get to our next thing. But please,
Next
well,
time.
first and foremost, thank you all. Keita and Trip, of course, and Kitty and Trip, of course, and y'all the podcast I'm looking for. Well, I appreciate being one of the podcasts that you looking
Oh,
for,
we
brother.
love that.
I
That means a
appreciate that.
lot.
It does. It does. And we still gonna get you on here. We're gonna figure out your schedule because I know you work nights and stuff like that. So we'll figure out your schedule and the right episode to get you on here
Yeah.
so we
Do
can
a
have some fun with that.
Sunday recording.
Um, and thank you to everybody who was in the chat. Taya,
Yeah, I went
Kane,
up tonight.
Ace, Myron, um, who else? Hank, um, every Mr. Know It All.
Yep.
Um, thank you to everybody who joined the chat. Thank you to everybody who's going to watch this. Please make sure that y'all share it. Yes, it's probably the longest live we ever did, but I felt like we didn't want to shortcut the content for the sake of shortcutting it because there was a lot to
Yeah.
gloss, to do without glossing over and then kind of losing the plot.
Right.
Because I really had to paint that picture for y'all to get y'all to understand what I'm saying.
It was it
Um,
was it was necessary.
and we will be back next Thursday, 9 p.m., barring any type of unforeseen circumstance. And then we'll let y'all know what we got to move it to if such a thing should come up. But 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursdays, expect to be here with us. Okay. Shout out to our brother A.C.E. That's who he always be. Shout out to the
Hey,
sponsor of the podcast, the owner of Simply the Shea Catering and co-owner of Second Line Express, Keish with the K.
Keish.
Shout out to all of you lifers, man. Shout out to Mimi the goddess. As I always say, be careful, be smart, be respectful,
Yeah, man.
be kind to as many people as you possibly can. And I know how hard that is. But just do your best, man. Do your best.
It's getting harder and harder every day, but keep working.
Every day, but keep at it. And make sure every single day to take the time out to be kind to yourselves. You need it, and we need you. Okay? That's the only way you're going to stick around in this game. You
Yep.
cannot pour out of an empty cup.
Yep.
All right. So make sure to take care of yourselves, however, whatever that looks like, to do something to take care of yourself and love on yourself. All right. Because we want to see you next week. We want to see you when we finally get our live show off the ground and we got you in the place. We looking for faces. We looking for names. I'm checking lists, hollering people out, all that kind of good stuff. Okay. And just honestly, we want everybody to win. We want everybody trying to do their thing to win, man, at the end of the
Yep.
day. It's hard enough out here to
Yep.
be rooting for people to
For
lose.
sure.
I ain't even rooting for Ace Tools. I don't want him to win, but I ain't
Me
even rooting for
neither.
him to
Yeah.
lose. You know what I'm
It
saying?
is what it
So
is, you know?
it is what it is. He's staying his lane, we stay in ours. But thank you once again for tapping in with us. Uh, like, share,
Yeah.
subscribe, all those things on YouTube. Make sure to click the notification, even though YouTube holding us a little bit with the notifications going off. Just make sure to check, come back every week and check. Okay. New content is going to drop every Thursday night for sure, and Sunday nights with the gaming live stream. At some point, I'll switch up off Call of Duty, but for now, it's Call of Duty Sundays. So, even if you play and you want to get on with a brother, let's do it. All right, I'm here
Yeah,
for
I really might have to jump in on this and just see if I can just play Call of Duty. Hey, Toro, put me on Call of Duty. Let me see what I can do.
it. Hey, man, listen, that's what I did because I was ass. I'm still not
I mean,
good.
listen, I
I'm
go
still
shoot
not
guns in
good,
real
but
life, so I ain't got time for games. I'm doing shit for real feel. But yeah, I might have to get on and see what we can do.
yeah,
Like I
man.
said, I always hear him in the basement cussing, and I'm like, it can't be that bad. It can't be that
Yeah, no,
bad.
it get. If I
Listen,
wasn't trying to keep the
listen.
stream cuss free, might have a little kid, little 7-year-old in this house. Oh my God, it be sounding like Eddie Murphy Raw on some Sundays. Okay, it be sounding
That's bad.
delirious.
That's
Okay.
bad. That's
Listen,
bad.
listen. I don't even want to get into it, but we gonna wrap this thing up. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We look forward to seeing y'all next
Yes,
week, man. Be safe and stay dangerous. We will catch
for
y'all
sure.
on the next one. God bless.